Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Cojelo, Take It Easy, a podcast that makes you think, laugh, and grow. I'm at Don't Bother Me Sun, Leave Me Alone Moon, Get the Hell Out of Here Rising. And I'm here with...
Hi, I'm Marina, and I couldn't look at Talisa while she did her intro, or she'd laugh.
Yeah, I get nervous. I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like I'm being extra perceived when I have, like, a new guest.
I understand that.
So I'm like, please don't. Here, let's move it a little bit closer. Let me
All
try
right.
to hear you. There you go. We have a lot to say today. We have a lot to unpack. That's it. That's really all I can say. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm glad to be here.
Yay! You know, after this, we're gonna have to, like, hang out regularly, right?
Huh?
Hang out regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do be staying in my house.
Me too. I mean, I record here. You see how I made you come here first, right?
Honestly, I was
"Come
down
here."
for that.
Yeah.
I was down for that.
Okay, good. I'd be like, do you want to... I feel like I sound like a guy. I'm like, do you want to come to my house?
Do you want to, like, come
And
to my
record?
house and chill?
And, like, yeah.
Make a video?
I promise it's not what you think it is, you know? How ironic that is when men ask me to go to their house. I'm like, bleh!
I don't want to go to your house.
I would, I'd love to be like, I could rob you, but they have nothing to rob. You know what I mean?
I would just start taking shit. Like, even if they have nothing to rob,
Just take it.
I'm gonna empty your fridge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I want to leave you with, like,
All
one
of your forks, yeah, gone.
One fork,
I'm not even leaving you one fork.
I'm, like, gonna take toilet paper.
I'm gonna take it all, and you figure it out.
I'm gonna take that one extra pillow you have for no reason.
I'm gonna see if you're gonna eat with your hands.
Yeah. So, I've known you for how long?
Since Nottingham.
Yeah, so 11 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. 11. I've known you for 11 years.
Yeah.
And the reason you're here today is because, as I normally do, I overshared on the interwebs. And I mentioned how a man made fun of me that was trying to date me, court me. Can't say court. They don't do that no more. Tried to date me, I guess. And then we yapped and bonded over that. And I was like, you know what? This conversation needs to be shared with everybody. So that's why we're here today. Let's talk about dating.
And I said, if you give me a mic and tell me all I have to do is talk about my dating app experiences, say less.
Yeah, you were literally like, when and where. And
Yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
my house.
Exactly.
In like 3 days. You were like, got it.
I
And
will be there.
We're here today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, so I don't know what it is with men, like, negging women and thinking it makes us like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was not something I don't know if it's, like, something that happens when you're trying to date older, because I will say this, like, I had tried being on dating apps, like, when I was in my early 20s.
Yep.
And in my late 20s. Those are the only two times I really tried
the
it.
middle, blank period, blank
Middle,
space.
I was like, I'm fine, actually. Honestly,
Yeah.
the whole time I was fine. But, like, middle, I was, like, not even trying to bring
I
that
had
type
too
of stress
many
into
hobbies.
my life. Yeah. I was like, I did it, the middle was clear because I tried it in my early 20s. And then I was like, this was not fun. And then I tried it again. I was like, I had fun during my mid 20s. I focused on me. I traveled and all of that. And then around my late 20s, I was like, I guess I can't say I haven't found anybody if I don't actually try to find somebody.
Yeah.
That's kind of on me at that point. So
I'm
I was
like, damn, how come I'm not meeting anybody? Because I don't leave the house, or if I do, I'm mean mugging everybody, or I'm with, like, all my gay friends. So no one's looking at me. I'm like, right, maybe I should, like, venture out.
Yeah.
And just try and say that I did.
Yeah. So I was like, damn. I was like, I guess I should try or something. So, yeah, my first time, I feel like in my early 20s, it was like, I don't even know. It was like overload.
Yeah.
It was. And it was like,
because it was a new experience.
It was a new experience. Like, I didn't really know what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like Tinder-ish.
Oh, yeah.
It was mostly just like a matter of like filtering out people who actually wanted to date and people who just wanted to hook up.
Uh-huh.
And then
that was like the only app I knew of too at the time. So
I was using no. I was using Hinge. Was
Hinge still okay?
In my early 20s, yeah. Because I was using Hinge, but I was using Hinge back when it wasn't cool to use Hinge. Like people were like, "You're using Hinge?" Like
you sound unhinged.
They're like, "You're using Hinge." They're like, "You're only old people use Hinge," and I'm like, "Well, send them my way. Like, where are these old people?
I
at?
want the mature people."
Yeah.
I used Tinder out of literally curiosity, and as I always say, and then I ended up with a boyfriend, a whole lot of trauma.
I think me and my friend both got Tinders together for one day just to see what it was about, and she started talking to some French dude, and I told her he was trying to like put her in a box somewhere or something, because I was like, French people aren't real. They're not in the US. Like, what do you mean that you're talking to a French dude? What is a French dude doing in New Jersey? Something about this ain't right.
There's nothing here for them to do.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? It's like when you're driving on the highway and like you see a license plate from you see the license plate from like Georgia or Louisiana and it's in New Jersey and you're like,
what are you doing here? Yeah, like Oregon. I'm like, how'd you even get here?
Yeah. It's like, why
not even
are you here?
Thinking that maybe like it's a rental car, but I'm still like, that's weird. Why is this here?
Yeah, this is something I think now that I'm older and I can like rent a car. But back when I was younger, I genuinely thought people from those states were like in New Jersey.
I know.
And I was like, why are you guys here?
I'd be like, what the heck? Ontario.
I'm like, get out of my state. Get out of my state.
I'm not even that territorial, but like I'm like, get out of here. Yeah, I don't want you here.
Yeah, especially when they're driving in a way that I don't like. They do anything I don't like on the road. I'm like, go back to your state.
Yeah, is that like a Jersey thing that we're aggressive drivers? I mean, I assume that it is.
I don't think we're aggressive. You know why? Because I've been to Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they call them assholes for a reason.
Oh, I've been to Texas and the way they drive.
Okay.
I was only a passenger. I can't even look out the window. Like, I'm on my phone the whole time because they drive nuts.
Yeah, I feel like there's a difference between driving. Like, if you're driving aggressive, but you know what you're doing, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
So to me, most New Jersey drivers, even though they're aggressive, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, and they're like rushing to get there, but like safely.
Yeah. No, Massachusetts people, they're like driving on the sidewalk. They're like, there's like a 4-lane like blockage. Nobody knows where they're going. There are people like trying to go around like stop signs. There's horses on the road for some reason.
What is this?
Yeah, this was in Boston, so I can't even say it was in some like weird place in Massachusetts. This was in Boston.
I was like, where were you, Lancaster?
Nope, I was in Boston, and there were horses there for some reason.
All right, and they can only go fast.
You know what the funny part is? Like the horses are there, and they're part of the traffic too. So you have all these cars stopped, and then the horses are stopped up on the sidewalk, and I'm like, all right, nobody knows what they're doing here.
And that would frustrate me because it's like, I'm new here and I just want to get to where I'm going so I can calm down. But they're making it harder.
Yeah, that was the place where I couldn't drive. I
actually recently drove in New York this week because I went to a little event.
How was that?
It was interesting. It was my first time. My parents were like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. Because I just felt like more safe and controlled in my own environment to drive there. And I was like, when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. Because I was going all the way to Brooklyn. I was like, I got to go to Penn Station and take the subway. I was like, and I was in like in a dress. My dad was like, it's unsafe. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. So I drove and it actually wasn't that bad. My inner road rage came out. Like some people were trying to get in front of me and I was like, no, bitch.
I will literally kill us both before I let you get in front of me.
I would like smack a school bus honked the horn at me. Because I didn't turn yet at the stop sign, but I couldn't because there was a car going in a one-way direction.
Yeah.
So I was like, boop. I was like, beep. I was like, bitch, if you don't... I literally would like to come back. Mine can't even hear me, but I was getting so annoyed. And one guy like was trying to like cut me off slowly, but being like, hey, thanks. And I was like, no. And I kept driving. I was like, all right. You just got to act like you fit in.
Yeah, when they preemptively come in and they're like, thank you. I'm like, I'm not that nice.
I was like, who said that I was going to let you slide?
Thank me for what?
Yeah. Thank you for this ass that you're about to see because I'm getting in front of you.
Yeah, I'm not grown enough for New York driving yet. I'll drive through Philly though. I'm fine. Philly's nothing.
I think Philly's crazier.
Really?
And I thought New York would be really, really bad.
All right, I'm gonna drive through New York now.
Yeah, and then I would say it was bad leaving, obviously, because I left. Because
Philly's not an issue for me. I don't think.
I mean, I've done it, but usually I go straight to like a parking garage. Like I'm in the same area, and I'm like, okay, I park here, and we're gonna walk to the venue, and that's it. Like I don't drive long enough there, so I don't know. I think it's because I go with other people and they be scared, so I feed off their energy. I'm like, I'm scared. I can't look out the window right now.
That's fair.
But yeah, I mean, I've done it. I survived somehow. I was like, oh my god, I should get like a sticker or something.
You should.
Because everyone was like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, that was fine.
Yeah, I'm basically like the mayor of New York now.
Yeah, I'm like, give me a badge.
They loved how much I drove so much.
Yeah, everyone let me through.
Yeah, they're actually naming a boulevard after me.
Literally, as they should.
Yeah.
During Hispanic Heritage Month, hell yeah.
Yeah.
As they should.
Yeah.
But yeah, dating, horrible. That's really all I can say. So you tried Tinder in your early 20s, you said.
I tried Tinder for a day. I don't even count that as trying because I got on Tinder for a day.
Not even a trial period.
And honestly, the concept, like, we grew up in the 90s. So, we grew up in the time period where talking to people on the internet meant they were certainly trying to kill you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was kind of like my first experience talking to, like, strangers on the internet.
Yeah.
And when somebody would message me and they'd be like, hey, beautiful, I'd be like, this is not a real person and they're trying to kill me.
Yeah.
So I was so uncomfortable with it. I think I had it for like 3 hours before I deleted the app. So I really don't count Tinder. Then I started using a dating app. I want to say, because I became a nurse like in my early 20s, 22, 23. And that was where I was like, I'm working with all women, so I'm going to need a little bit of help.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to need a little bit of help, or I'm going to need to make some life choices like right now. So I started out with, I want to say I was just on Hinge. Like, okay. Mm-hmm. So the first time I tried dating apps, I was like, I hate Tinder. They were like, oh, Bumble is great because it lets the girls talk to the guy first. And I was like, ew. I was like, I'm not doing that.
Isn't that a horrific concept?
Yeah, I'm like, what do you mean I have to talk to you first? So I was like, I'm not getting Bumble. So I got Hinge because that was the only other one I knew about. It was like, oh, Hinge was advertising itself at the time as the dating app designed for you to delete it.
And I feel like they still...
Yeah, they still do, but that's when they still do, but they were at the time, that was how they were advertising
and
themselves.
Honestly, they kind of do come off like their marketing and like the UI software does come off more like mature and grown up. Like, you're here for this purpose, and we're gonna get you there. Yeah, that's false advertisement. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like, I like Tinge actually.
I like it as a concept.
I liked it as an app.
I don't
ask me about my dates, but I like the app. I like the app.
I like that there's prompts. I like that you can like a picture or a prompt, or I like how
the fact that the men on there sucked was user error, but it wasn't Hinge's fault.
Exactly. You know? I'm sitting here actually putting thought into my prompts and like being cute and giving you something to talk about and trying to show my personality. I like that you can add videos now too. I would put a video on my podcast, like to see if many of it noticed. Half of them did not. Yeah. But you're absolutely right. It definitely is user error. When they all have they use the same prompt and then the same reply for the prompt, I'm like...
It's because Hinge is too popular now. Honestly, like when you first started using Hinge, I was like, this will filter out everybody, at least every person, because this was old. Like this was, they didn't have the voice memos on Hinge at the time. They didn't have, I think they had pictures, they might have had videos. I don't want to be wrong, but they didn't even have like, this is the type of relationship I was looking for. Hinge was not that tricked out yet. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It just had like some demographic information. But what I liked about it was I was like, okay, as we know, most men on dating apps are not literate. Okay, so anybody on Hinge, and I'm just saying this again from experience because they'll be in your DMs and they'll be like, hey, and it's just hey back and forth for like 3 days.
WYD.
Hey tag.
WYD. WYD.
Not much. How about you? Yeah, same conversation 1,500 times. But I was like, okay, anybody that I match with on Hinge had to at least use the brain power to write like 3 to 5 full sentences.
I had these same concepts.
And I was like, brain. Okay, any guy willing to put that much effort into his profile is at least probably looking for something a little bit more serious. You know, that was my mentality the first time I used it when it was like still new. Yep. Okay, now I wouldn't go in like that. Yeah. But when it first was popular, that was how I was going in because at the time the only other apps for the easy shit were like, it was Tinder. And Tinder was still very popular.
And all it is dude. It's just literally
it's like flame swipe or your ugly swipe.
Yeah. Or super swipe.
Yeah. So Hinge, you had to put a little more thought into it. So I was like, okay, all right, this will work for me, right? And I expected people to be normal. They were not.
First mistake.
Yeah. And that was fine, I guess. Like, I think I didn't do it much. I think I used it for a couple of months. I went on a date with a guy I actually really liked on the first date. And then he ended up being kind of crazy. But I didn't know he was crazy because I really liked him at the time. So I was just like, you know how you're watching a horror movie and like there's that one person in the horror movie who's just not seeing it. Like they go into the haunted house and like it's like old Victorian. There's cobwebs everywhere and nobody's lived in it in 200 years and it's been abandoned. And they're like, this place is antique, guys. Like this is a steal. They're not seeing it for what it is. Yeah. That was me with this guy. That was me with this guy. So, I was like iffy about it. He like asked me on a date, right?
That's always the first thing when I'm iffy. I'll be like, fuck, I'm gonna do it for the plot. My bad, technical difficulties. You were saying, okay, you were iffy about the date.
Yeah, I was iffy about him, but he was like, let's go out on a date, right? So I had made it a thumb rule. I was like, okay, if anybody asks me on a date, I'll go. You know, obviously to a public place because
I mean that's rule number one. Yeah.
So we go to Princeton. And, you know, we're walking around. We actually have a really nice date, right? We have a great time. We're talking the whole time. Like, everything's chill. We're making each other. The date was... now I'm remembering it. The date was he wanted to have a picnic and watch, like, an anime that I never watched before. Right? Like, he wanted to have a picnic, watch some anime, and then we'd go out to a restaurant, right?
If I had $1 for every man who wanted to fucking watch an anime with me.
Okay, but that was my first time, so it was novel to me. I was like, whoa.
So he got you. Yeah, I know.
I was like, whoa. I was like, you don't want to just see a movie?
I'm not judging you. I'm judging him. Don't worry.
Yeah, because it used to be weird to like anime. You know what I mean? So that was like, I was in my early 20s, so it was the first time I was like, oh my God, it's cool to like it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. now everybody watches it. It's no big deal.
Yeah, it's everyone's one honor.
Yeah.
I'll fall for you if you like anime. I'm like, okay, bitch, what's new?
Yeah. So, no, now we go into it. Now I purposely well, not now, but when I was on the dating apps, I would like rage bait them, and I would be like, okay, this is the best character in Bleach, and if your favorite character is this person in Bleach, I already know that your taste is bad.
I love that.
And I would pick the character that's definitely their favorite.
You're like, let me guess.
You know,
if a guy tells me he like One Piece, I'm like
it means it means he can commit.
You think so?
Yeah, One Piece is
because
like
literally
1,000+ episodes.
Every man,
he's in for life for something. You just need to be his One Piece.
You know what? You got me.
Yeah, exactly.
You ain't with that one because that's absolutely true. Like, I'd be like, oh man, I know. Every time a guy tells me about
One Piece is like men's Grey's Anatomy.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, it went
and
on
I've always
forever.
said like, I know like that person's it for me if they convince me to watch One Piece.
Yeah.
And I met one guy who loves anime. He was like, no, I haven't watched One Piece yet. I was like, okay. So I gave him. I was like, okay, cool. All right. Like, what's your favorite?
You didn't watch One Piece. All right, I'm in.
Yeah, but he was like, my favorite is Dragon Ball Z, and I was like, okay.
That's kind of the same at that point. It's also been going on forever. And
Low-key, I was like, anime. That gives commitment too, because I was like, damn, that's like I have really close friends that love Dragon Ball Z. I was like, okay, I can understand the vibe. Because I know enough about Dragon Ball Z. I don't know anything about one.
I was a Bleach person.
I never watched any of like the classics yet.
I was a Bleach person, definitely. Like I read the whole manga and everything. Yeah.
I never got that many mangas.
And that's how I would piss people off. I would come in Bleach and I'd be like, Urahara was the best character in Bleach. And if you like Kenpachi, your taste is trash. And that was like rage bait, like automatic rage bait.
Okay, so anime picnic.
Yeah, so we go on a picnic.
Okay.
It's during... You remember when they had that cicada season and they were literally everywhere and you couldn't walk 4 inches without a cicada being there? Mm-hmm. So we had a picnic during cicada season. One landed on my dad's face before. Yeah, it was literally one landed in my hair. And I'm terrified of bugs, so that part was disgusting. We're watching Hunter x Hunter.
Okay. That's a good anime. That's
it was a good one. I never finished it, so sorry.
I haven't watched it, so.
But I don't really feel stressed to finish it because the guy who wrote it didn't even finish it. So when he finishes, he took an 8-year break and just started writing chapters now. So when he finishes Hunter x Hunter, then I'll watch it. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're watching Hunter x Hunter, right? We're chilling on a blanket at the university campus on the grass somewhere, right? We go around and then we go to a restaurant. And the first thing he did was like, I don't know why I found this attractive. I think I was just delusional at the time because now I'm like, that's kind of rude. But like he wouldn't even look at the waitress, right? Like he was like giving her the card and he was like, oh, thank you. Like he would say thank you, but he like would not look at her.
Okay, yeah.
And at the time I was like, he has eyes for me only, guys. Yeah,
I gotta like that.
He can only see me, but I was also like 23 and stupid.
It's okay, it happens.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah. It happens. So at the time I thought that was like really attractive and I was like, that's a man. So we go on a date, we have some ramen, we leave and we had so much fun on the date. He was like that day he wanted to plan our next date. So we had our next date like a week or 2 later.
Okay.
This next date we go to Philly and I honestly don't even remember what we did. Mm-hmm. I don't remember. Oh, you know what it was? We really liked each other. Like, there was, like, a lot of compatibility. We had the same type of sense of humor. I thought we had, like, a lot of the same interests, but I was just, like, waiting to see, like, if the deeper things meshed. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah. That's honestly much more important, I feel like.
Yeah, so second date, here's some, oh, wow. Now that I'm talking about this as, like, an actual adult, like, I'm like, why did I not realized there was something wrong. I'm actually realizing in this conversation.
But sometimes, no, it happened. Those happen every episode.
Yeah, I'm going through
the
it.
The thing is, too, like, when you're in that moment, you're present, and you're experiencing it for the first time, so you don't even really realize. And then, like, when it's over, you're like, oof, okay, put it back.
You know what the funny part is? I've talked about this multiple times, so I thought I knew all the red flags, but now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, oh, there's a couple more I missed.
I love that. I'm like, here's another one.
Here's one that I missed. We're walking around in Philly, and he was like, I don't know, he made, like, a passing comment about us being boyfriend and girlfriend, and I was, like, joking around, and I was like, oh, except we're not boyfriend and girlfriend. He was like, really? He was like, really? It was our second date, bro. He didn't even ask me. And I was like, no, you didn't ask me. Like, I really like you, but, like, you didn't ask me. And also, it's our second date. Like, I'm trying to take it slow. You know? Like, even though I like you, I don't know that I like you. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, I'm interested, but I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, and I didn't realize at the time that was, like, crazy.
No, that is.
Okay, it gets crazier.
Okay.
It gets crazier.
Yeah.
So we go on our date. He's driving me he drove there because he lived in Delaware.
Okay.
And at the time, and I took the train.
Okay.
Right? Because I wasn't going to make him drive all the way from Delaware and, like, pick me up and then drive me to Philly. That would have been crazy. So I took the train, right? He goes to the train and he's, like, so sad about me. We had a great date. And he was so sad about me leaving that he shed a single tear. He shed a single tear. In his words... he called it a thug tear. It was like, it's just a thug tear. I'm not crying.
Thugs
it's a thug
don't say
tear.
that, though. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So when I told my friends, I was like, guys, he's so sad that I was leaving that he actually shed a tear. And my friends were, like, horrified. They were like, he cried? Well, I was like, no, guys. He didn't cry. It was a thug tear. As if that was going to mean something to them.
Like they knew what that was.
Yeah. That was like, guys, it was a thug tear. And they're looking at me like, what the fuck is she talking about? Right? So at the time, I was like, this is going so well. I was like, he likes me so much that obviously he was, like, so devastated at the thought of leaving me that he cried. And that's just my effect, you know?
Yeah,
like, I was
me.
I was delusional.
Yeah,
right?
It happens to all of us.
Right? So, fast forward. I think we, like, called once and I happened to fall asleep while we were on the phone, right?
Okay.
And he, like, loved that. He was like, I want to fall asleep on the phone with you all the time. But it was an accident. Like, it wasn't intentional, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't want that. I was like, I don't want somebody, like, in my sleep. Like, I want to be, mind you, again, this is, like, a big difference between, like, what I thought I really liked then versus, like, my fiance now. Like, me and my fiance, we fall asleep on the phone every night.
Yeah.
And it's no big deal.
Yeah,
like, I literally can't sleep if I don't do that.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. Like, I'd be like, ew, yuck, bleh. But then I like someone, I'm like, no, I want to do all of that with you. I'm like,
yeah.
I kind of like
so
you.
when I'm bashing men, shout out to Roger. This is not about you.
Of course. Hello, he put that big rock on your finger.
Yeah. Who I met on Bumble, which is not an app that I would recommend, but still, it just happened to work out for me.
I did meet one girl. I met a girl on Bumble BFF.
Yeah.
And she told me she met her boyfriend, and now they're married on Hinge.
See, and honestly...
And I was like, oh my God, I think Hinge, or was Bumble? Maybe it was Bumble.
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, me and her don't really speak like that. Like, now we're just, like, IG mutuals.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm like, oh my God, I met him, and now they're married. That's so cute.
That is so cute.
I'm like, oh,
it's
one
like,
day.
I know that guy. Yeah. So, this is where I started noticing things were
you were
wrong.
like, wait a minute.
So after the fact, fast forward, like, he really liked that, right? He kept wanting to do that again, and I was like,
And it's like... Also, low key, like, it was an accident. It wasn't done on purpose.
He was trying to recreate, and I was like,
lightning in a bottle.
I was like, I want to sleep. Like, I don't want to be on the phone with you, bro. I want to sleep.
Yeah.
Anyways, fast forward, he, like, wants to call me on the 4th of July.
Uh-huh.
Right? So he calls me on the 4th of July, and we talk a little bit, but then, like, he's like, oh, I'm going to go see the fireworks, da-da-da-da. So he spends, like, the rest of the night, like, talking to his family the whole time, and he just kept the phone on, which is fine. You know, okay. I can body double, you know, I'm fine with that. I'm all right for some mutual nonverbal time. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I kind of thrive in
Here's where it got weird. I had a friend who lived like 4 hours away, and she came down to see me and spend a couple days with me.
Uh-huh.
So this was 2 days later that she came. So she comes, she's spending a couple days with me. We're like reorganizing. She's like reorganizing stuff in my dresser because she sees that my dresser is a mess. And she's like, fun hangout idea. I get your life together. And I was like, all right.
Say less.
Yeah, so
I'm waiting
she's organizing.
I'm waiting for my fairy to do that.
Yeah. She's organizing stuff on my dresser. I'm on the phone with him, and he's had me on the phone with him while he was talking to people, and has talked to mostly those people, and I've just been in the background. I'm okay with that. I'm chilling, right?
Okay. I see where this is
going.
So
I'm talking to her, and I was talking to him. I would occasionally chime in, like I wasn't completely ignoring him. I would occasionally chime in, but I was like I was also talking to her because she was like, "Where do you want this to go? Where do you want this to go?" So I'd be talking to her, right? Well, all of a sudden he hangs up, right? And
Drama
so I
queen.
jokingly was like, oh, I didn't think he was actually upset because I couldn't conceptualize that he was upset.
Yeah, because you're like, I'm me. Who would be upset with me?
It just didn't make sense to me. Like, it wasn't even like, I'm me. I was like, what is he mad about?
Yeah, you're like, what the heck?
Yeah, so I didn't think he was mad. So I was like joking around. I was like, oh, no bye. Because I was like making a joke, like, oh, you're just going to hang up? You're not going to... Because I honestly thought that he hung up by accident. So I was like teasing
like his
him.
phone died or something.
I was like, oh, no bye. Like, I was pretending to be offended. And then he was like, well, you weren't talking to me, so... I was like, wait. I was like, was I not in the background of your phone call like 2 days ago? I was like, what are you?
There can't be two drama queens in this relationship.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, wait. So he starts talking crazy to me about that. I was like, oh, you're talking crazy to me. I was like, I'm gonna give you a day because you just pissed me off, right? Then he circles back and he's like, I'm so sorry. I don't want to lose this. Like, I like you so much. I was overreacting. Da 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 da. And at the time, I was like, yeah, maybe it's just a fluke. Like, I'll give him another chance, whatever. Right? So I do. I give him another chance. When really, I should have been like, I should not have given him another chance. But I did.
It's always, you're like, damn, I should have just...
Why was I... Yeah. Like, the thug tier and him being like, really? I'm not your boyfriend? After he never asked me and it was our second date. Those should have been my first two clues.
Yeah.
But I digress. So a couple days later... I feel myself starting to get fed up with this man, right? So like I would be talking and I would be like I would be talking and he'd be like, oh well, I didn't expect you to get so mad and da 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 da. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I wasn't mad. I was like, you were just being disrespectful and unfair, like you weren't being fair. And then he'd be like, you're crazy. I like that. And I was starting to get the ick.
I will say for me, when I get the ick, it's done.
Yeah,
it's done.
I was starting to get the like I went from
back.
really liking him to like his very existence was starting to annoy me. Yeah.
Like you breathe too loud, I'm pissed.
And I was starting to feel crazy too. So I remember I'm like crying. I'm like, why is he doing this? I don't understand. I thought we really liked each other, and all of a sudden he's making me so upset. And I'm like on the phone talking to my friend because I'm like, I'm trying to make this work, but like, and I'm trying to be understanding. And then my friend stops me, and Christina stops me. And she goes...
Because I know it's her.
It's her, yeah. So
shout out to
Christina
her.
stops me, and she goes, girl, she goes, you are not even together with this man. You guys have been talking to each other. You went on 2 dates. You've been talking to each other for like 2 months. At this point in time, he should be putting out his best behavior. He should be doing his best to impress you and like hide from you the stuff that would make you dump him. And you're already crying over this man and trying to make exceptions over him. Listen to yourself. She goes, this is the type of stuff you should be doing like 2 years in, girl, not 2 months in.
Yeah.
She had to appear like Mufasa and be like, remember who you are.
You know what? I gotta call her.
Yeah, I do. She was like, yeah,
give
no,
it to
honestly,
me. She was like, Talisa.
Yeah. So she was like, remember who you are. And I was like, damn, she's right. So at that point, after she gave me the pep talk, I was like, this man's starting to piss me off, right? So I'm kind of distancing myself from him a little bit, right? At the time, I was still working on my bachelor's while I was working. Mm-hmm. And so it was like, there was this day, I was taking a summer class, and we were doing like a final presentation for something. And the rule was, even if you presented, you had to stay for the full class and listen to all of the presentations, which took 5 hours.
Of course it did.
So 5 hours of presenting and hearing presentations. I had the worst migraine ever. After.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I had the worst migraine ever. You're laughing because you know exactly where this is going because I already told you this story. I had the worst migraine ever. So, and then my mom and my sister wanted to go to the mall. So I'm at the mall with them. So I am all peopled out.
Yeah.
I am all peopled out. So at the end of this, he's like wanting to FaceTime. And I'm like,
you know, follows him on FaceTime.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm tired. I was like, I have a headache. I was like, I just want to go to sleep. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
So he starts getting mad. He was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I'm tired and I have a migraine. Tell me why this man was like, since when do you have migraines? You never told me that you have migraines. Why all of a sudden when I want to talk to you, you have migraines? And I'm like, was I supposed to like sit down on our first date and be like, hi, I'm Marina. I like long walks on the beach. And this is my health history and my cholesterol numbers.
And my blood type.
So I was sitting there and I was like, why is this something that you're suspicious of? I'm telling you, it runs in my family. Like, first of all, I don't owe you that, but it runs in my family. Second of all, if I'm telling you my head hurts and I don't want to get on the phone, it doesn't need to be an argument. Like, what are you talking about?
It is.
What are you talking about, right?
Yeah.
So he's arguing back and forth with me. He's like, I'm just trying to understand why all of a sudden you have migraine. Da 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 da. So at the end of that conversation, I was like, honestly, I said, you are so like, you nitpick everything I tell you. You are just extremely negative. I was like, I am not the person for you. You are not the person for me. I'm good. Mm-hmm. I'm good. Yeah. And I just stopped talking to him, right?
Yeah. It didn't end there.
No. Well, it ended for me there. It did not end for there.
Yeah. It ended for you there, but for him, there was a part 2.
There was part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh,
shut up.
Yes.
Tell me.
So a couple days later, he's sending me apologies for like days on ends. And he goes, first, he's like, okay, can't we talk about this? You're just going to throw away everything we had. We went on 2 dates.
Yeah, that's not much.
We went on 2 dates. Okay.
Yeah. That's a clean sweep. Just
all right. I pecked him goodbye on the second date. So nothing happened. All right.
Okay.
It was like a little bye, you know? Yeah. All right. So I don't know why he was acting crazy like that.
That's what I be asking.
Yeah.
I be like, did I do something? It's never me. It's them. Well, when they get crazy
it's
like
you,
that,
but not in the way you think.
Yeah. I be like, I literally was like, did I do like magic on accident? Like,
maybe.
What did I do?
So he's sitting there and he's like, I'm so sorry. You know, we don't need to throw away everything that we had. You're going to throw away everything that we had over one fight. Like, you know,
but I
really like
fight.
you. We're so good together, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I was like, I don't want, like, I sat there and I was like, I don't want to talk to you. Like, you're disrespectful. I said, it's not one fight. It's how you act. It's how you act, bro.
It's the way you act.
Yes. A couple days later, I'm so sorry for disrespecting you. I never want to disrespect you again. I'm going to work on changing and bettering myself. I'll go to therapy, like da-da-da-da-da. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, this dude is crazy.
Over 2 dates?
Yes, this dude is crazy. Crazy.
You need to be in a psych ward.
Couple more days pass. He sends me Spotify playlist.
That he made?
Yeah, titled I'm Sorry. Then he sends me... You know how the iPhone lets you make like cinematic videos of pictures?
Yes.
He sends me a cinematic iPhone movie of all of the screenshots he took of the single FaceTime we had where I was folding laundry and talking to him on FaceTime at the same time. And then at the end, I'm sorry, comes up. Yeah.
I've never been speechless.
I don't answer. I'm like, you know what?
If it comes to a point that he's just talking to himself.
Yeah, I'm like, if I give this man an answer of any kind, he's gonna gain hope. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm not answering, right? Then he messages me again, and he's like, I was just really stressed because my mom is in the Air Force, and I was pushing you away because she was gonna move. She's moving to California, and I wanted to see what was going on between us before I decided if I moved to the West Coast or I stay here or not. And I was like, why are you asking me to tell you where you live? I don't know you. Where you live should be your choice. Like, I'm sitting there scratching my head, right? So he's every couple of days he's giving me another response.
Yeah.
Okay, it starts dying out.
And what's crazy is like ChatGPT wasn't a thing then, so he's thinking of this himself.
No, this crazy is 100% original.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's like
farm grown.
AI can't
grass fed.
AI can't make this up.
No, it can't. It can't.
That's real human art right there.
Yeah. So it starts dying out, but every couple months. Okay, you know those memes of like Future? Every time like some kind of tragedy happens.
Yeah.
Like when the queen died, Future is like,
damn, when I thought about the queen dying, I thought about how, you was my queen. I let our relationship die.
He started doing that. But like minus the future picture, right? So do you remember like years ago when New Jersey was having all of that rain and the flash floods and all of that, and it was like kind of the first time that was happening?
Yeah.
This was like in June. Sometime in August, he's like, hey, I'm in California now. It's a new number. From a new number, mind you. So he transferred my phone to his new phone. My phone number to his new phone.
No one saved over here, babe.
Yeah. So it's from a completely new number. And he goes, hey, it's Nick. I heard there was a lot of raining and flooding where you were, and I just want to make sure that your family is okay. This man never met my family. So
even the birds have nothing to say.
The birds are speechless. And honestly, me and the birds have a lot in common because honestly, I was a bird for going out with this guy. But,
oh my God. You know what? I know there were some red flags there in the beginning, but who would have thought it would get that embarrassingly bad?
That's
and it's not even
one.
for you. Oh, God. That's the crazier part. Right?
Yeah. Like, no, it gets like infinitely worse.
I've had... So speaking of like internets,
every few months, every several months, he's text me like from a new number every single month.
Fucking lying.
Like, hey, it's me. Like just putting feelers out, you know?
You're lying.
I'm not lying, bro.
Marina, what you got on? You give it to me. Maybe don't.
I'm mean and they like that.
Me too. That's why we have that in common.
Like,
I see you.
I'm mean and they like that.
I like to. Well, I don't like to. I try to warn men I have in the past, and I go like, you need to be careful because I'm very strict, and I'll tell you if I don't like something.
Yeah.
Like if you piss me off, I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah. I don't even give him that disclaimer. You're gonna find out when you piss me off. I don't even come with the user manual.
I need to do that.
The second you piss me off, I'm like, why are you talking to me like that? It'll be like, yeah. And then I'm like, why did you talk to me like that?
Yeah. Okay, wait. Yeah. So I'm like that, and they'd be like, oh, and they like want to challenge it. And then when they're met with silence, they're like, oh my God, no, I was just playing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no, come back. Oh my God, like, why are you acting
Yeah, they're like,
that?
what if I do this? And I'm like, I won't be there. What if you do that? I won't be there.
You know that old Vine? Disappear.
I will not be there.
Yeah,
so
I'm like, you'll be talking to yourself. And like, there was even, I feel like the last few men that I've spoken to or even attempted to have conversation with, like, I never even got that far to give them a manual. And they would act out. And I had a guy be like, oh, I said, mm-hmm. Because sometimes, like, I don't know if it's me watching K-dramas all the time or what it is. Where, like, when you're speaking and I want to talk to you.
You know what I always tell my friends? I'm like, don't watch Goblin when you're trying to date.
Goblin?
Don't watch Goblin when you're trying to date. Don't watch.
Why?
It will actually ruin men for you.
Okay.
You'll be like, you'll watch Goblin, and then you'll just look around at every man. You'll look at your most loving husband of 20 years and be like, why are you not Kim Shin?
Okay.
Why aren't you Kim Shin?
I'm gonna put a note on that because I don't know what it is, but like I'll be like, So I'm always responding to someone.
Yeah.
So this guy was saying something on FaceTime, and I was like, And he was like, don't me, woman. You're supposed to say yes. And I was like, right? I just laugh. And he goes, no, because like if I'm your man, like you're supposed to submit to me.
What?
Girl, he was talking. I pulled my phone out and recorded this. I recorded a Snapchat of him saying this. I go, excuse me? And he was like, yeah, like how am I supposed to like lead? And I was like, he goes, but you seem like a tough cookie to crumble. And I was like, first off, what vernacular is that? What verbiage is that? And being like, oh, like I'm gonna have fun messing with you. And I was like, okay. And I said it to my friend. She goes, bitch, what? And I go, bitch, that was live.
That's actually crazy.
And that's the same guy who before that, when he turned on FaceTime and answered my call, he was like, hey, I'm going to go on mute real quick because I got to fart and I don't want you to hear it.
I don't need to know all that.
Oh, also the same man who said to me, oh, what are you watching? And I said, I'm watching King Kong. Oh, I bet you like King Kong.
What does that mean?
Right. I go, excuse me?
What does that mean?
Right.
I'm scared.
And then maybe because I'm too polite and stupid, I'm still on FaceTime with this guy, and he sees my curtains, and he's like, "Oh, what's behind there? You got dildos in the back? Your secret dildos? Is that where you keep them all?"
Jail.
This is our first FaceTime.
Jail. Jail.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Then he tries to fall asleep on FaceTime with me.
No, I'm hanging up and going to bed.
I was like, girl, it was the afternoon on a Sunday. And I was like, I gotta go. I leave. I do family stuff. I come back. He texts me. I don't answer. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't answer. I was like, yeah, I'm done. Then he texts me again, like, are we good? I go, hey, because I asked a guy friend of mine, I was like, do you think I should just like tell him no thank you, or should I just like leave it alone? He was like, maybe you should just tell him like no thanks. He goes, because you don't really have to give him an answer or an explanation. Just tell him like no, so he don't like wonder why. I go, got it. And I was like, hey, this is not gonna work. He was like, oh, okay, I'm confused. I thought we had an understanding. An understanding of what? What? I didn't even get to be mean. I laughed in his face because I thought what he was saying was a joke. But then when he tried to say a joke like the King Kong and the dildo, I was like, oh, this guy's not funny.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Yeah.
He's just corny.
It's honestly rough when you're funny by yourself. Like when you're funny by yourself. And first of all, there's like guy humor. There's stuff that's universally funny. Okay.
Yes.
But then there's things that guys find funny.
Yep.
And there's things that like I think like girls find funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some guy humor is just genuinely not funny at all.
Yeah.
Which is why like
what the hell do you mean? Yeah, I bet you like King Kong. And I'm going to say this because I've said this on the podcast before. You may be wondering, is he black? No. That's even the nuttier part of it, I feel like.
That is insane.
I was like, why is he saying that to me?
That's actually crazy.
And older than me. I dipped a toe in the water of an older man, and he reminded me that his brain never made it past 20. I was like, this is not going to work. And had yet to still like ask me out on a date. He was like, oh, I was wondering if you'd like want to go out sometime. Like not even like ask me out on a date.
Hell no.
I was like, no.
Hell no. Hell no. So actually that really bad dating experience is from my young time on
Mine
Hinge.
was from earlier this year.
That one that I just told you about was from like when I was in my younger 20s, right? That was the one that had me like, you know what? I'm not grown enough to date. This
no. Anything crazy like that, I'd be like, I'm good.
I was like, yeah. So I did that. That was like, I think, yeah, that was like the third date I went on total.
Yeah.
So I was literally on Hinge for like a month. I had that experience and I was like, you know what? I'm good. So I didn't date for like the rest of my 20s.
Yeah. Damn, Nick, you really ruined it for everybody. I think that was the point, though. Honestly, he's playing the long con. Roger, look out.
Oh my god. So I was sitting there, and I'm ready to start going in on my actual time dating. Right, I'm in my late 20s.
You're like, let me give it an actual try.
I got out of like a very weird situationship, honestly, and
I'm too grown for those.
Yeah,
that's what I say, and yet somehow they still find a way to me.
Yeah,
I'll be like, I'm too old for this.
Yeah, I had ended like a really weird situationship that, I just realized was not for me. And then I was like, all right, I'm getting in my own way. I was like, if I keep going on these dating apps, going on 2 dates, then not dating for 3 years, getting in a weird situationship with somebody who I know that I can't be with, and then wasting my time, like I am literally the problem. Yeah, like it's a cycle and you're like, I'm not learning from this. I'm not benefiting from it. Like you need to expand and actually try and Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I was like, if I don't try, I can't say I didn't find somebody. I would, I have to actually look for somebody and not find them to not find somebody. Yep. I finally was like, I came to that realization, mind you, like a year ago. I was like, I was there. I was like, you know what? I have so much love to give. I want to give it to somebody. I would like to be with someone. I want to experience life. I needed a pep talk from my friends. I'm not gonna lie, because my friends. Yeah, I was like, guys, I don't even want to be with anybody. They were like, you have so much love to give. Like you're you're an amazing friend. We love you. Love us. The idea that you can't love somebody, get that out of your head. Like they had to literally be like, my friends too. Like finally, when I was like, hey guys, I think I'm gonna try dating apps. They were like, oh my God, finally. Yeah. They were like, do it. Yeah. They're like, oh my God, you love us and you do all this for us. Like, do it for like, my friend, Christian. Christian's like, this is you cook. He was like, you love hosting. He goes, you go with kids. Yeah. Why don't you want to be a wife? I'm like, well, I don't know. He's like, give it a try. I'm like, okay. That is so funny. I was like, fine. So. Yeah. So I had to start. So now it's time for dating apps part 2. Okay. 2. Right? So after dating apps part 2, I was like, this is the remix. I'm going to do it differently, okay? Because you know what? Because I find the process of dating, like, I found it so exhausting.
It is. It feels like a part-time job.
Yeah.
You feel like you're putting yourself on a market for sale. I feel like cattle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, choose me.
Yeah.
Pick me.
Not
love
even just
me.
not even just like that. Like, it's exhausting. Like, you're telling me I have to look nice, get dressed, laugh at all your jokes.
I have to give a first good impression every time.
Like, I have to perform for like 3 hours or so. And then I go home and I wait to see if you like me. Like, to
do this again?
This is exhausting. I hated this.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it. So I was like, this is the remix. So up until this point, I was a little bit dumb about the process. So even if we like weren't in a relationship, I'd only talk to one person at a time because I already didn't like the process of dating so much. The idea of juggling, like, I was not one of those people who could juggle.
I can't juggle, but it does suck being like, okay, I'll talk to one person at a time.
But then you waste your time. Like, you waste a month. So that was the reason why I was like, it's not about what I like doing. It's about quickly filtering these people out. I can't be wasting a month of my life and then starting over, wasting a month of my life, then starting over. I was like, nah. I was like, I need to go on at least one date every week. I made a point to be like, I'm gonna go on one date every single week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, if they ask me, you know.
Yeah, of course. No, but that's a good goal to have in mind. And like, it's so interesting because I feel like I was like, you know what? After I got set up, I was like, I just want to go on a date. That didn't happen. I ended up being like, I like this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, okay. Still haven't done the dates yet. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't gone on them frequently enough. I'm just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, so I start going on dates and I'm like, I'm talking to whoever I want, and I made it a rule. I was like, obviously I'm being safe. Like, I'm going in public places. I'm not going to anybody's house. I'm not going to like an abandoned parking lot or something.
Right.
We're not going to have a picnic in a field. We're going somewhere public where you can be identified and arrested at a later date. Yeah. If you need to be.
My girlfriends and my mom would be like, send me a picture of his license plate.
I sent a picture of everybody's license plate number. Location was on.
I'd be like, you need to
location. And you know
show
what?
me your ID.
Everybody needs a crazy best friend in their life. Okay,
I have
all right.
too many of them.
You know what? Whenever this gets posted, I'm gonna send it to my crazy best friend Ava. Shout out to you. She would always have my location on her phone. She would literally zoom in on where I was during the date, and she would put like little stickers, and she'd be like, "I'm at the restaurant with you." By the way, or she would sit there and she would zoom in, and like we'd be parked somewhere, and she'd be like, "Hey, there's a lake like 30 feet away from where you are. Are you drowning right now? Are you in a bag? Can you text me back and let me know that you're not in a bag? Thank you."
When I went on my first date, everybody was like, you haven't texted me back.
Yeah.
So I literally had to tell them I have to go to the bathroom. And on the other hand, I was like, they were like, send me an emoji if it's going good or bad. I was like, it's going okay.
And I'd be going on a date with a guy, I'd be like, I'm just gonna, I wouldn't even be subtle about it. I'd be like, I'm taking a picture of your license plate real quick. And they'd be like, why? And I'd be like, in case you kill me. And he'd be like, I'm not gonna kill you. And I'd be like, yeah, now you're not, because your license plate is going to everybody. Bitch. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, literally.
And then actually that same day, like we did it backwards. We did the movies, then dinner. And at dinner, like before the waiter came, we both were texting our friends like, yeah, it's going good. Because like each of our friends were like, are you okay? How's it going? Are you feeling okay? Is it going good?
Yeah, I wouldn't even be subtle about it. I'd be like, hey, I'm just letting my friend know I'm okay.
Oh, no, I don't give a fuck. I do it. Like, I took my phone. I was like, excuse me, hold on. And the guy was like, oh, do your friends have your location? I was like, yeah. He goes, good. I want to make sure they know you're okay. And I was like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Period.
So, dating apps in your late 20s.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Whole different ball game.
No, they absolutely are.
Whole different ball game. I think that like a lot of guys are under the impression that like once you're in your late 20s, you're like desperate to find a husband, and they think that they can talk to you however they want. That's what my theory is.
Okay.
Why? Because I had some people saying some shit to me that I could never conceptualize a man who was interested in me saying to me.
Like?
Oh, I have so many.
Okay. I don't know if I'm prepared.
I have so many. This one was funny. It wasn't bad. It was just funny. I'm on Bumble.
Okay.
And this dude sends me a voice memo. I have it saved on my phone because it was so fucking funny. First of all, I don't know. So what I did, I told you, what I did was I was trying to curate the process. I got business-like about it. I got mathematical. So I was like, you know what? I said, I'm going to spend that $5 and I'm going to get the Bumble where you can see the people who like you, and I'm only going to swipe on that because automatic straight shot.
Yeah.
Narrowing it down.
You already like your funnel.
I'm not even gonna look at the general population. I'm only looking at people
because
who like
then I'll
me.
look at a guy and I have to be like, okay, what's my first impression of his picture? And then I'm like, okay, not bad.
Because you'd be looking at pictures and you'd be like, I don't know if I'm his type.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm like, why am I doing that to myself?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
like you said, like let me just look at the guys that like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So this guy swipes right on me, and I don't even want to tell you his name because the second I tell you his name, you're already gonna know.
Okay.
It was a dude named Hershey.
Okay.
It was a dude named Hershey. And you might ask, Marina, why did you swipe right on a dude named Hershey? Because he swiped right on me, okay? So I was like, all right, you're not like ugly, you know?
And you know what's interesting? When you have to say that, that says everything I need to know.
No, but you know what? I mean? That's not what it was. That's not, I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah.
I don't find people attractive until, like, it doesn't matter what they look like. I will not be attracted to somebody until I like their personality.
Me too. Like, I'll be like, he's fine.
You could
so
literally.
I'm open to meeting him.
Yeah.
But it's when I have a conversation with you is when the attraction happens. So that's why for me, it was instantaneous with one particular person.
Yeah.
Because I didn't try to do the extra process to be like, oh, but what if I don't? I was like, yeah, where you want to go? What time? Cool. And I went and I was like,
yeah, you could show me like a supermodel, and if I don't like their personality, I'll be like, guys, his eyes are kind of like uneven. Haven't you noticed that? His nose, one nostril is bigger than the other. Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
You don't think that's weird?
Yeah. Yeah. So it just wouldn't work for me. Which I discovered that through a horrible conversation with a guy on Bumble. So Bumble was eye-opening in so many ways. But anyway, this dude's name was Hershey.
Okay.
Right? So I'm like, hi, how are you? I get a voice memo. I'm like, what's this voice memo about to say?
That already like makes a pit in my stomach.
In the background of the voice memo, he's like revving in his car and he goes, hey, my name is Hershey. You know, I like going to the gym. I have two pit bulls. I don't even remember their names, but they were like pit bull names. He's like, yeah, they run the house. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? He said, know what I mean, Jelly Bean. He's like, know what I mean, Jelly Bean? And then the voice memo ended. I
feel like he pre-records that and like sends it to everybody.
I thought so too. And I was like, I sat there and I was like, know what I mean, Jelly Bean. And he said it exactly like that, like in a frat voice.
Yeah.
This man was 30. Yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, is know what I mean, Jelly Bean even a thing? Like, am I just like, do I not have enough white people in my life to like,
right? Because I've never
heard that phrase in my life.
Yeah. I've had a friend I call Jelly Bean, but we never said that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had to consult my friends of the Caucasus Mountains. And they, in fact, had never heard the phrase, know what I mean, Jelly Bean. So I was like, they were like, maybe he's just nervous or something.
The fact that, like, you're revving the car, you mention you have two pit bulls, and then say, know what I mean, Jelly Bean, is so contradictory to everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's whiplash.
Yeah. So he, like, asked some things that I was into. I mentioned that I'd, traveled to Greece. Did
you send voice memos, or you were texting these back?
I was texting back.
I do, too.
I was like, I'm not sending my voice. Oh, I did once, and the reaction I got.
Okay.
So that was not to him though. That was to a different dude. Who will be in another chapter.
Okay.
But I'm sitting there and I'm like texting back, and I was mentioning some places I traveled, and he's reading the messages, like literally reading the message out loud. Like, how some people need to read what they're reading out loud to read.
So he would record himself.
He's recording himself reading my message. And then he's recording himself reading the messages. Aw, that's cute. Yeah, I'm planning on going on a vacation soon. So, like, where would you like to go if we went on vacation? Know what I mean, Jelly Bean? And he says it again. Like, it's his catchphrase at the end. I'm sitting there and I was like, is this dude for real?
Yeah.
Honestly, amazing laugh. Never talked to him again after that. It's so funny. It was so funny.
Sometimes I like to go far enough just to see where it would go.
Honestly, like you're just kind of know what I mean, Jelly Bean twice in a row. I was like, this guy has an IQ of 4, and I love that for him.
Not for me.
Though. Not for me.
That is not my person.
Not for me. Not
Literally,
for me.
No.
Somebody out there is gonna love that you say everything and then say, know what I mean, Jelly Bean at the end. They're gonna love that.
They're gonna say it with you together. That's gonna be like in your vows.
They're gonna be like, I'm your Jelly Bean. but not me.
Definitely not.
Yeah,
me.
so that's my funny one. I talked to a guy who was almost in the NBA. I don't know if that was true. He was
Allegedly.
He was 6'9", which I'm 5'1", for those of you who can't tell. So you might be asking, why were you talking to somebody who was 6'9"? Honestly, again, as I said, I was looking at people who matched me. So he liked me first, okay? And not that
y'all already had one thing in common. Y'all both like you.
Yeah. So it's not like I wanted to talk to a guy who's 6'9". Actually, if I stand next to somebody who's taller than like 6'2", I get scared.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that primal
I was
instinct
gonna say
comes
prey,
in.
predator. You're like,
I'm like, are you gonna like eat me? Like what's going? Like, so the reason why I talked to this dude wasn't because I like was into him. But because I literally matched him and I was like, do you not see my height, dude? I was like, what the hell do you want with somebody who's 5'1"? I was like, you need to go find your statuesque women and leave me the hell alone.
yeah.
You know, like I flat out, I was like, he was like, what are you talking about?
You redirected his purpose. You were
he was like,
it's not me.
What are you talking about? He was like, maybe I like the idea of you looking up at me. And I was like, what?
Oh, the better to eat you with? What the hell?
I don't know. And he was like, what's wrong with me being 6'9"? I was like, that is biblical greed. Like you do not need that much height.
Give me some. Damn.
There's literally no reason for you to be 6'9". Like you're just that tall for attention.
And speaking to me, I can't even hear you from down here.
You literally just want attention, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, well, you know, I was almost in the NBA. First, it was I was recruited for the NBA. Then it was I was almost in the NBA. So I think he was just bullshitting and thought that it was believable because of his height.
He's so tall that there's not enough blood in his body for him to retain the memory of the lie that he had.
He thought it was believable, I guess, that because of his height, right? So we talked for a single day, right? And he was like, "Oh, what are your hobbies?" And I was like, I'm artistic. I do this, I do that. You know, I've been doing a lot of cardio recently. And then he goes, I'm glad that you mentioned you do cardio because you're not usually what I'm physically attracted to. And I just paused Marina. And I was like, girl, I didn't like him. So I was literally just talking to him as like a science experiment, you know?
But isn't it crazy when a science experiment does some shit like that?
I was literally like, I was talking to him and I was like, how long till he realizes that I'm literally just like, fucking with him, because every time we just think like, oh yeah, really, like really, yeah. You were in the NBA, really? So he was like, yeah, you're not usually what I would be physically attracted to. And I was like, what are you usually attracted to, out of curiosity? And he was like, I like curvy women.
The Cardi B.
So I was like, oh, okay. I didn't even question it about it, because what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm gonna be like, I'm curvy enough for you.
But like curvy like scoliosis? Or like curvy like Coke bottle? Like
I think he means like curvy like supplied by Dr. Miami curvy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, almost recruited to the NBA.
Yeah.
BBL. It's a circle.
Yeah. So and I'm sitting there and I went down and I was like, I turned to my friends and I was like, do white people not know what curvy looks like? I was like, all right. I was like, I blame TikTok for this. And my friends were like, what are you talking about? I was like, everybody has a BBL and everybody don't forgot what curvy people look like.
Yeah. And
now because of TikTok, everybody thinks that's what people look like just naturally.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. I'm sitting there and I'm like
hourglass figure.
I am naturally an hourglass. That's the crazy part.
Super wide hips.
Yeah.
No waist.
That's the crazy part. I'm not going to body check on your podcast because that would be crazy.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, that is literally what my body type is. Like, yeah. My waist is 10 inches narrower than my hips and bust. Like, I'm not going to give out measurements, but like, I am the definition of an hourglass. And this dude was like, yeah, I like curvy women. Sorry. But you know, I love that you're working towards it. And I was like, mind you, ask me if this dude was in shape.
Well, he was almost recruited, so no.
He was 6'9", though, so I guess he thought, I mean, he could talk however he wanted.
How are you 6'9" and out of shape?
He just eating too much.
You know what I mean? Like, how are you 6'9" out of shape?
Remember how I said, like, big and greedy?
Yeah.
Big and greedy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It goes into everything. It goes into everything. And I was like, I think I'm gonna let you find your curvy women. You know, I'm
Good
clearly
luck.
I said I'm clearly not enough for you. I'm so sorry. Like I was so sarcastic. I was like, I'm not enough for you, and I'm so sorry. So, and then after that, I went down. And I'm talking. I'm not even segueing, right? I go down and I'm like, my brother and his friends are playing D&D, right? And I was like, I go downstairs, right? And they have a diverse group. So I'm like sitting there and I was like, you two white people, I was like, I need your opinions right now.
Something, don't you feel like you got gaslit? You're like, tell me.
Yeah, I was like, white
Explain
people, I was like, I need your opinions right now, right? And they're like, okay. And I was like, okay. I said, I promise this is not a setup. What would you classify my body type as?
Right.
Like, genuinely. Like, I was like, I won't get offended. Like, I just want to know, like, how you classify it. And they're like, curvy? Like, they were scared to say it too. They were like curvy?
They're like, don't hit me.
Curvy? And I was like, okay. I was like, just curvy? Or would you consider me, like, you know, anything else? And they're like, no. They're like, is she about to hit me? Like, what is going on?
They're like, what kind of test is this?
And then I told them what happened, and they were like, is he dumb? I was like, yeah.
There's not enough. He's so tall that, like I said, the blood can't get to the brain.
Yeah.
So it's not functioning properly. Like, not enough oxygen. You know what I mean?
So, yeah. The next dude.
I give you so much kudos for still continuing to try.
So bad. I wanted to quit so bad.
I would have let you throw in the towel.
Every single time I talked to somebody and it didn't work, I was like, I want to quit. But I was like, this is what I always do. I need to stop doing it. Like
my friends, that was the main thing they all said this go around.
You have to ignore your instinct to not try.
I'll be like, you know, I really like this guy. So I don't really know. Like, oh my God, all this heartbreaking. They were like, listen, like, we don't want him to ruin this experience for you. Like, we want you to find the right person. Like, you're going to have to go through some duds. And I'm like, no, I know. So I'm not giving up. I just like,
yeah,
what
you
the
can't.
fuck?
You can't. You got to
I'm like, guys, don't worry. I'm not like, you know, I'm not on suicide watch. I'm good. Yeah. Don't worry. I was like, but like, when is enough?
Yeah. So, this next guy that I'm talking to, you know, I thought he was funny, so I thought we had good banter, and I love banter.
Gemini Venus, baby.
Yeah, of course, Gemini Venus. You know, so
if you can engage with me conversationally, like, you can win my heart easily. Because I could talk forever. Like, it's already been an hour and 5 minutes.
Yeah, so I'm talking to this dude, and he's like, I'm really spontaneous, just so you know. For the record, moving forward, I proceeded to consider spontaneous to be a complete red flag. Why? Yeah. Let me tell you why. Because when guys tell you they're spontaneous, what they mean is they don't make plans and they just want you to. Yeah, they just want you to move with their plans immediately, right? So he's like, I'm really spontaneous, just so you know. What the banter was good, so we're talking for a little bit, right? And I'm at the gym. I am at the gym. And he's like, let's meet for coffee. And I was like, can I have like 2 hours to get ready? Because I was like, I want to shower. I want to not look like a sweaty mess, you know? He's like, no, just come in your gym clothes. It's fine. I don't care about any of that. I want to see the real you. And I was like, for a first date, I would like to at least be clean, you know?
This is for my comfort, not yours.
Yeah, I was like, it has nothing to do with trying to impress you. I don't care what I look like.
I want to be comfortable.
I want to be clean. Mm-hmm. Like, and he's like, I'm really spontaneous, you know? Like, he's getting impatient. He's like, you know, I thought you said you don't mind that I'm spontaneous. And I'm like, I don't mind that you're spontaneous. It doesn't mean I got to be spontaneous with you. Like,
and it also just sounds like you're irresponsible and inconsiderate.
Yeah. So he's like, all right, well, I'm going out with my friends later, but maybe after we're gonna do like a bonfire thing, but maybe after we could grab dinner then, so that you have more time to prepare. I'm like, that's better. There we go.
Yeah, that's being spontaneous. Being like, hey, okay, let's push it. You're flexible.
You're giving him too much credit.
I am.
Yeah. So he goes out to the bonfire with his friends and gets drunk, and we don't go out to dinner, right?
So you're a liar.
Yeah, we don't go out to dinner
because that would piss me off. Because so you are the one that changed the plans.
Yeah, I wasn't even like in it like that, so I didn't even really care. I was just like,
but like, oh, so you're a liar.
I was like, okay, so whatever. So then the next day, he's like, he asked me for a picture of my butt.
If I had $1 for every time a man
asked me for a picture of my butt.
If I had $1,
and I was like, I'm not sending you a picture of my butt. And he was like, he starts whining. He's like, but why? We already like each other and we've been talking for like a week. And I did ask you out on a date yesterday.
that you technically stood me up for.
Like, I don't even call it a stand-up. He asked me on a date. It didn't work for me. I said no, and he was like, let's do this instead. And I was like, all right, just let me know. And he didn't let me know. So, you know what I mean? Like, at that point, I was like, yeah. He's like, I already asked you out on a date. Like, I was like, so you asking me on the date is basically the same as going out on a date? And I'm being extremely sarcastic. He's like, yeah. Like, fully serious. He's like, it shows that I made the effort to plan a date with you.
I hear a lot of this.
And I'm like, this guy can't be for real. So I'm like, I'm not.
Did he roast his brain on the bonfire?
Maybe. So I'm sitting there.
Marshmallows.
Yeah. So I'm like, not gonna send you a picture of my butt. But thanks so much for the hype. You know, no thanks. I'm not that kind of person. I'm just not a send a picture of my butt kind of girl. Mm-hmm. No shade to girls who like to send pictures of their butt, but you know, that's not me. Yeah.
And then to like beg for it.
Oh, he didn't even think he was begging for it. He thought he was doing me a favor.
How the hell?
I'll tell you.
Let me shut
up. So I tell him no. And then he's like, all of a sudden he changes tones. He texts me again. I literally remember how this message was worded because it was actually so crazy to me. He was like, let me give you a little honesty, sweetheart.
Oh.
Let me give you a little honesty, sweetheart. You know, these days, it's not hard for guys to date, and it's a wide market for men right now, okay? Men have a lot of options right now. And, you know, I've just been looking on your Instagram, and you don't have, like, a single picture of your butt. So I don't know if you have, like, a big butt that I would like. You know, so I just think that you should send me a picture of your butt because I would really hate to see you end up like some of my girlfriends who are 32, 33 and still single because they didn't try to market themselves a little bit more. Like he literally worded it like he was doing me a favor.
I'm sorry,
by getting a picture of my butt.
Audit? Like,
right? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, let me tell you why this does not bother me at all. My butt is behind me 24/7, okay? I know I have a butt, okay? I don't need to send proof of my butt's existence. Okay. So I messaged him back and I was like, why are you sending me this whole think piece instead of asking me out on a date and just quietly looking at my ass when I go to the bathroom like a normal person?
Yeah.
Like, why are you so weird? And he was like, I'm just trying to help you, you know, because I just feel like you're a really great girl and I would just hate to see you get in your own way. Because you're not trying hard enough.
Says the man begging for an ass pic.
Yeah, so that's literally what I said.
Because he's literally not even trying hard enough to see you and see you in person.
That's literally what I said. I was like, I said, considering you're the one begging on hands and knees like a dog for a picture of my ass, I think I'm in pretty good form. But clearly we had different expectations for each other, so you need to find somebody who can meet those low expectations because I don't move like that. All right. And then I blocked him.
You blocked him, but not Nick. No.
He gets new numbers all the time.
You can't.
He gets new numbers all the time.
Hey, I
block him, but then there's a new number. It's like, hey, I'm in Dakota now. Just in case.
He's on the run? Like, what the fuck?
I don't know. I think he was like a military brat or something. So he like moves around a lot.
Indeed. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. I had a guy not tell me he was married. No, previously married. But still, it's very weird that he wouldn't tell me. You know what I mean?
No, that is weird. Honestly, that's almost even weirder.
It was very weird. And the reason why he told me he was married wasn't because I found out, but because I told him I wasn't really feeling him. And he was like, obviously you're not as innocent as I thought you were, so I guess you can know the truth. Yeah.
What the heck?
So this dude.
So then he's like for you to say that you're giving predator. Like, what did you think that you were doing for me?
For sure.
That you thought I was innocent and couldn't handle the truth.
So this dude, I was like, let me try dating within my culture, you know?
Oh yeah.
I tried it a couple times. It hadn't really worked out. You know, I dated, for context, so everybody knows I'm North African. So I dated pretty much like every culture, but I was like, I kind of stayed away from North African men because I know how they are.
Yeah.
So every time I find one that's a little different, I would be like, maybe they won't be like my dad.
Yeah. I've always like, I have not dated a Puerto Rican guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can.
Yeah. So
I have liked a guy who's Dominican and Puerto Rican. That's kind of like worse.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But I know that was like lightning in a bottle. And I'm like, I don't need to chase that no more. It's fine. I don't need to. We're good. I tried.
One time I did date a dude who was North African who was a therapist. And I was like, oh, a North African man who thinks mental health exists.
Okay.
But then he told me he thought I was mean. And I was like, why do you think I'm mean? I've been very nice to you. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry. I just think women who disagree with me are mean. So I was like, yeah, this isn't going to work.
Oh, so he weaponizes therapy. Got it.
Yeah, he did. And then he sent me...
Can we call the board?
He reached out to me on Juneteenth. He was like, happy Juneteenth. I hope you're not still mad at me. He was like, hey, girl. I was like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what are you doing?
Now you still on his mind. Marina, what is it about you, girl?
I'm like a magnet for crazy people, honestly.
Me too.
I really am. And I've been told that by like my friends before. They're like, you really like draw in. It's not... I don't think, you know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. Okay? The reason why we are magnets for crazy people is because we give everybody the benefit of the doubt, which means the crazy people who come in, and actually my fiance told me this too. He goes, everybody else who meets a crazy person like that, instantly, they're like, I don't really need a reason. I'm not talking to you anymore. But us, we're like, you haven't really done anything wrong. So I'll give you the time of day. You haven't done anything to
me yet. So let's see where this goes.
I haven't seen you do anything wrong yet. So I'll give you the time of day. And then that's how we end up dealing with a lot of crazy people.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. All of those, the crazies that we've dealt with, when I give them the benefit of the doubt and when I am mean, as I said I would be, or I hold them accountable,
right,
or I'm like, hey, like you did something wrong. So
it's like flipping a switch.
Yeah, they go, oh, this is not gonna work.
Yeah, they're like,
I go, oh, why do you think that?
Yeah,
because you and I cannot communicate, right? Because I'm the one communicating to a person who stood me up, didn't speak to me for 3 days, came out of the blue to talk to me, and had no excuse as to why he didn't speak to me for several days.
Yeah,
and then I have another guy tells me that it's not gonna work after you made fun of me, and then I told you, hey, that hurt my feelings. And then you kept apologizing over and over again. And I was like, just because you keep apologizing doesn't mean I'm going to forgive you faster.
Yeah.
And then he tried to be like, well, that's strange. That's not why I was doing that. I did really feel bad. I'm like, right. But you keep bringing it up when you apologize. And then you wrote me a poem.
Did it rhyme?
No.
Oh. Throw the poem away.
Yeah. Oh,
didn't even rhyme.
Yeah. And after the poem was out, I was like, you didn't have to do all that. I wanted to. That's the problem. You wanted to do it. It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And then, because you're embarrassed, you tell me it's not going to work. And I go, okay. Why are you bringing my line 3 days later talking about, we could still talk. We could talk if you want. I don't mind. About what?
I thought we already talked.
Yeah, we said this isn't gonna work.
Yeah,
you wish me the best, and I said, same to you. Yeah. I said ditto.
Yeah,
and then you call me, and then you text me saying, "Can I call you?" Then you call me again. Then you text me, "I'd really like to talk about this on the phone and not texting." Then you call me again, and then you say, I need a couple days to cool down. I got my friend's opinion, and I really want to be sympathetic. And I want to apologize again, too.
It's been 48 hours, and I've just learned empathy for the first time.
And here's my thing. I'm really picky when it comes to certain words because I'm pretty intentional when I speak. Yeah, I speak quickly. I speak impulsively, but I try my best when it's someone I like or I want this to go somewhere or, first impression. Yeah. I'm like, let me think intentionally about what I'm saying. So when you say sympathy, that further annoyed me because you're not even a decent human. You need to be empathetic.
What are you sympathizing with?
Yeah.
That's not even the right word.
Yeah, you need to empathize with the fact that you made me uncomfortable and you made a comment about my appearance.
Mm-hmm.
After you said I looked pretty and then before you said my lips were sexy. What a shit sandwich that is. Send it back. And again, I also was like, maybe I'm tripping because I'm thinking I can give the guy the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, because
he came back a couple of days later. Yeah. Cool. But then from seeing the first message to getting to my car to seeing the other, I was like, this guy just called me 2 more times and texted me 3 more times. And I was like, let me get an outside opinion.
Yeah.
I text a man, I text a woman.
Yeah.
I go, hey guys, am I tripping?
Yeah.
This happened and now he's doing this.
Yeah.
And the woman says, block him.
Yeah.
She goes, it's giving desperate.
Yeah.
Then the man goes, he sounds sincere. I think I would hear him out. And I go, hey, by the time you text me back, he called me another time and texted me 4. I blocked him. And the man goes, yeah, save your lips for somebody else. Don't do that. I said, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't need you to affirm what I already know. I don't need to do that. And then I told me that I had to block him. And I goes, did he harass you? I go, yeah, that's the perfect word.
Yeah, that's a good
Let me tell
word.
you something. I've never had that happen to me before in my life.
Yeah.
And like, he lives really far. And I was like, thank God.
Thank God.
And I told my mom, she was like, does he know where we live? And I go, no.
So
She got so scared. I was having way too much, but I told her after it was over. I was like, you won't believe what happened to me.
yeah, so the next time I tried to date a North African man,
Oh, God.
this time I was like, why did I go out on a date with him? Because he traveled a lot and he was like starting his own coffee shop. And I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of cool.
Cute.
He's really passionate about coffee or whatever,
Love
right?
that.
So I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Oh, my God. Excuse me.
So we meet up for a date. He picks a breakfast spot, right? Oh, here's the first thing that he did. Again, this was within the last, like, this was like two-ish years ago.
Okay.
Because it was like, this was like in the months leading up to me meeting my fiance. So
Shout out to him.
Shout out to him. Yeah. So we and this dude are FaceTiming. And he's like, yeah, I'm FaceTiming you because some of my pictures are a little bit older and I did put on a little bit of weight since the pandemic started. And I didn't want you to be like surprised or anything. And I was like, okay, I can respect that. That's fine. Not a big deal to me.
You know what's actually shocking? I've had that happen to me. Like, I went on a date with a guy and I was like, oh.
You don't look like your pictures at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of like, oh, those are very old.
Yeah. So I'm fine with that, whatever. And he's like, yeah, I don't really. But we're gonna keep in mind that the reason he did that, he goes, yeah, I'm a big believer in being honest, and I just, I like being honest and straight to the point, and
The birds don't believe that.
the
They're
birds
calling
don't
BS.
believe, and the birds are right. Okay, so
They're my familiars. They can sniff out the BS.
I told you they're my familiars too because I was a bird.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Exactly. So he's like this was a red flag I should have noticed. Bird moment again. We FaceTime and I'm wearing a shirt from the school that I work at.
Okay.
All right. Mm-hmm. I'm not thinking anything of it.
No.
How many school shirts do we own? Like a bajillion,
Yeah.
So I'm just wearing a shirt from a school that I work at the time. And like a couple days later, he's like texting me and calling me. He goes, hey, real quick, can I have your address? I was like, no, you cannot have my address. So he calls me later and he goes, I'm a little frustrated. And I said, why are you frustrated? What is going on? He goes, well, I don't know if I should tell you or not because I don't want to scare you.
Immediate block.
And I'm
honestly,
like,
my curiosity would want to know, and then immediately
this is
block.
how I know I would die in a horror movie.
Yeah.
This is how I know I would die in a horror movie because instead of blocking him, I was like, what is it?
Oh, what is it? Tell me.
My thirst for knowledge like exceeded my
survival
instincts. Exactly. I was like, what is it? And he was like, do you like surprises? And I was like, sometimes. And he goes, well, when we were on FaceTime, I noticed the name of the school on your shirt. So I thought it would be really sweet if I sent flowers to your job in a penguin mug because I know you like tea. And
that couldn't just wait until you met me in person.
We hadn't even gone on a date yet.
That's what I'm saying.
We hadn't even gone on a date yet. And
so he's trying to love bomb you instantaneously before even meeting you.
Pretty much. So I was just sitting there and I was like, thank God that didn't arrive to my office because like, could you imagine if like a bunch of nobody in my office knows that I'm like with anybody? Like that would have been so invasive. Embarrassing if like a bunch of flowers arrived at my job and they're like, who's sending you this? And I'm like, what? And I'm sitting there.
And you literally are like, I have no idea. And they're like, oh. And you're like, oh my God.
And I'm like, oh, that's really nice, but it's okay. I don't need that. And I'm creeped out. My instinct is that creeped me the hell out. I made the mistake of going to my mom about this. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
My mom, God bless her, is a very sweet lady. For as long as I can remember. So just to tell y'all what type of person my mom is, when I was younger, any male that I introduced to her, she would immediately tell me he was cute, even if he looked like Shrek, just in case he was my boyfriend and she didn't know. So she tries to be supportive, but any male in my vicinity, my mom is instantly supportive of, in the hopes that I have found somebody. You know what I mean? So, and that's what she's been doing since I was like 15.
That's so sweet. My mom will...
So sweet, but so misguided.
Tell me before the date, I looked him and his parents up.
Yeah.
I found their address.
Yeah. Yeah.
They make this much money.
My mom is not. I wish my mom was like that.
I think she missed her calling.
Yeah, no, I wish my mom was like that.
Yeah, my mom will be like, you know that one guy you've been talking to? And she goes, I can't find anything. I think that's suspicious. And I'll be like, interesting. Because I found stuff. And she'll be like, oh. I'm like, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I tell my mom about this.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, oh, she's like, it's because you guys don't know how to be romantic anymore. That could be very romantic. You just have your guard up because of the day and age. But, maybe it was a genuine gesture and you're just so defensive that you can't see that it was a nice gesture. It didn't mean anything.
Your mom would be the first to go in a horror movie.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
She would buy the haunted house.
She would buy the haunted house. And then she would see the ghost and she would be like, well, maybe they're haunting the house next door and they're just here by mistake, Oh,
it's the wrong house, babe.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, the ghost would be like actively trying to kill her and she'd be like, this is a misunderstanding. Obviously, I did something to make the ghost mad.
Let's talk it out.
Let's figure it out. What did I do? Yeah. Very sweet
Not
lady.
your mom trying to be like, let him do it.
Yeah, yeah. My mom was like, this could be very romantic. She goes, these types of men, they just like to spoil you. He's just trying to be traditional and spoil you, And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, whole time, I think all she heard was business owner and went to Harvard.
Yeah.
And from the same culture.
You're
she was
absolutely
like,
right. When my mom, anytime like the first time I was like, hey, so I just want to let you know, like, I might be going on a date. I was like, I don't know if my dad told you, because I had told him first, because my dad's the type to be like, all right, well, if you're happy and you like him, okay. And he'd be like, listen, even if you don't like him, he want to take you out, get the free food. Yeah. That's my father.
Yeah.
My father is like, even if you don't like him and he wants to take you out, go.
Yeah.
I said, okay. My mom is like, does he have a job? Does he have a degree? What does he want to do?
My mom...
Are his parents in his life? Is he the oldest? Is he the youngest? What are his hobbies? How does he feel that you have a little sister? Do you see a future with him? I'd be like... his middle name, Talisa, you don't know that? Get it.
Let me tell you what my mom did one time. One time, my mom tried to set me up with a DJ who did not speak English. And we did not speak the same typed language.
You know what's funny? I had a friend. I don't know if
my mom tried to set me
up in
up
high school.
And
she let me up with her cousin who couldn't speak English.
Yeah.
I was like, how's this going to work?
She let him slide in my DMs. After like a day, I was like, Mom, I can't communicate with this person. Like, I'm sorry, we don't have anything to talk about. He doesn't speak English. Like, there's no mutual language for us to speak.
Yeah.
Like, I speak Arabic, like, verbally, but I can't read it. Like, I was never taught. It's a completely different alphabet. So he's typing to me in Arabic. I was like, I don't know what he's saying.
Hello, beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah.
You know what my mom said to me? She goes, well, if you guys can't speak the language, at least you'll never fight. That's actually something my mom said to me.
Your mom is so cute.
Yeah. Now my mom is like, I don't know what I was thinking, because she met Roger and she's like, oh, there can be good dudes.
She's like, oh, thank God, you didn't listen to me.
She was so desperate to see me with somebody. She was like, even though you guys don't speak the same language, like, you'll never fight. You're not thinking. Like, yeah. So I'm like,
she's like, you know what language y'all can speak? Body language. That's what your mom's like. That'll be enough.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, Ursula.
Yeah.
Speak with your body.
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
So I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh my God. But anyway, I'm talking to this dude. We meet up for a date. We meet up for a date at a brunch place.
After yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause he's like, I'd like to take you out. I didn't mean to, it was because of the way that he said it. He was like, I was trying to do something nice, but I think I just got too excited. And I can definitely admit I overshot it.
Yeah. So me, my dumbass being, okay, he's self-aware. All right, cool. I get it. I'm me. I met me.
Not your dumbass. Our dumbass.
Yeah.
Our dumbass.
Our bird ass.
Our dumbass.
Wow,
Yeah.
like he's really into me.
Yeah.
I get it. I'd be excited too.
I wasn't even like, yeah, wow, he's really into me. I was like, maybe I am. Like, I was like, I hate the dating process, so maybe I'm just looking for a reason to find something wrong with this.
I do. Honestly, I joke about the whole "you're obsessed with me." I think that way. Actually, I'll be like, maybe it's. That's why I'll be like, I'm like, I need another opinion. Hey, chat, is this normal?
Yeah. So I go on a date with him.
Yeah.
When we show up on the date, this man. Now listen, I'm not saying you need to show up to our date in like a suit.
Oh God, I've had this experience. I feel like I've had the same experience.
Put some effort into your appearance. Like I'm not talking like you don't need to put like a ton, but like
clean shirt.
Yeah.
No wrinkles, no stains.
He shows up and he's like, "You look really nice. I'm wearing like these cute like bell-bottom jeans and like this bodysuit and this belt. It's really cute. And a leather jacket because it's fall or winter or something. And he is wearing a hoodie and sweatpants. And before anybody comes at me and is like, "Oh, those can be nice," if there was like a Nike logo or an Adidas logo or something, I wouldn't have said anything. I was like, yeah, maybe that is nice to him.
Yeah, like
it was a plain, unmarked hoodie, black hoodie, and black sweatpants.
Okay.
And the black hoodie had stains on it. And I am.
So you were gonna send flowers, but you couldn't put on a clean hoodie?
That's what I'm saying. So I'm sitting there and I'm at the restaurant and this man is like, "Yeah, I'm really into streetwear, just so you know. So this is how I dress. I'm like really into streetwear."
Dirty streetwear? Like clothes from the street?
Picked it up off of the streetwear?
I think that's what he meant.
Yeah, no, I'm
not even off the runway streetwear.
No,
off the street
and
streetwear.
Maybe, you know what? I don't have any fashion sense, so maybe I don't know fashion like
Old
that.
Old Navy. Yeah. What do I know?
Yeah. So I think this is Old Navy, Amazon. So,
okay.
Yeah, exactly. So he's like, "Yeah, I'm really into streetwear," and I'm looking up and down, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm just like mean, but this outfit's ugly. I'm like a little like I didn't realize I cared what people wore to dates because nobody put zero effort into what they wore on a date until now.
Yeah, you don't realize the standard until you meet someone who like
completely misses it. Yeah.
By a long shot.
So he's like, "Yeah, I'm really into streetwear, blah, 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 blah." Right?
Because I met someone and he told me prior, like I knew the situation before meeting, like where he was coming from. And he told me, he goes, "I apologize that I'm dressed bummy." But it wasn't a date. We were literally getting coffee.
Yeah.
So I also came in like Uggs.
Yeah.
A cute sweater and like yoga pants.
Yeah.
I didn't come dressed to impress.
Yeah.
Because I was like, whatever, this is just going to be some regular day. And if I don't like him, whatever. Obviously it literally didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like I still remember what he was wearing. Whereas I had a date planned and I got dressed nice and the guy wore like cargo shorts, a wrinkled t-shirt, and then he got it stained while we were eating at the restaurant and then wiped his hands on the shirt.
I can't say anything because whatever I eat always ends up on my shirt.
Me too.
I can't say anything. Me too. I can't say anything.
But then the fact that there's napkins and he went like this while talking to me.
Okay, well, what was the stain? If it was like powdered sugar?
I was like an oil stain because he had a burger. A mushroom burger. On a date.
Like, was it like a tiny little? Oh, I'm really trying.
It's one of them oil stains that like it don't come out. Like you need Shout or Dawn.
I'm really trying.
Yeah, you don't need to. He didn't.
So, me and this dude are on a date.
Yeah, I'm sorry. In his dirty stained hoodie.
His dirty
off the street streetwear.
And he keeps talking about how he went to Harvard and how he also went to Brown. Okay. And then he's talking about it like non-stop, working it. Yeah. He's like, yeah. He goes, yeah, I have a twin, but like we're not similar at all. My twin's kind of a loser. He like married a single mom of 3. And yeah, my parents are like super disappointed in him. And I'm kind of the golden child because I went to Harvard and Brown and I never did any of that. So yeah, but I really want to find somebody. First of all, he's like negging his brother so hard. I think because he thinks he's better than his brother.
But also wants what he doesn't have.
Low-key. So then he proceeds to be like, yeah, but I'm just like really interested. I just want somebody who likes me for me and not my intellect, Like, because a lot of people just, a lot of people think that, it's super important that I went to Harvard and Brown, but it's just like, it's not a big deal. And I just want somebody, I'm not like that. I don't think I'm better than anyone because I went to Harvard and Brown. I just want somebody who loves me for me and not just my brain. And in my head, I'm like, I think it would really help. People wouldn't like put so much importance on the fact that you went to Harvard and Brown if you like didn't mention it every 15 seconds,
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
have we ever thought about that?
I'm like, I didn't go to an Ivy League, but I think I found your solution,
It didn't take me all that time to figure out
I went to community college and I solved that problem for you right there. Like,
yeah.
So I'm like, okay. Then we go to an arcade, and I'm just waiting for this date to be over at that point. Yeah, we go to an arcade, and I'm just waiting for the date to be over at that point.
Yeah, which we can end at any time, but we stay.
Yeah.
We stick it out.
Yeah. Well, I was like an hour away from home, so I was just waiting for the date to end. Right?
Oh yeah.
And honestly, I don't got that dog in me like that to be like, I'm not having fun on this date, so I'm leaving.
Me neither.
I'm not. I don't. I'll admit it.
Yeah.
I'll admit it. Like, I'll have that dog in me when it's time to be like, you can't talk to me like that. I literally will drop you right now because you don't know how to talk to people. But in terms of standing up in the middle of the date and being like, I'm not having fun, I'm leaving. Those are balls that I aspire to have.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet.
I will say the only date that I was kind of like, I had to end it was because I had a feeling he was gonna kiss me.
Ooh.
And it just felt like we were like in the car just talking, and he was like rubbing my knee through the rip of my jeans. This is the first date, and it just felt like too much. And he went to move my coat, like, oh, I can't see you. I was like, I'm gonna go home, I'm tired.
Yeah,
because it was, and that's just the tip of that, like kissing the back of my hand.
Ugh.
Like 6 times in the middle of me talking. And it came to a point, again, as I said off the record, that sometimes I meet people when I go on dates, I end up entertaining them. It's not a back and forth. There's no banter. And I'm like, well, I got to entertain myself. Excuse me. And I was just talking. I would ask him questions and he would like, eh.
That's fun.
Like, I'm like, oh, like, so what do you like to do? Oh, I like to read. How about you? I'm like, read what? Right now I'm reading this one book.
Girl.
This one book. And he'd be like, and I'm like, I like this song, put it up. I was like rambling. So to him, if I became, oh, this is so sweet, she's so nervous. But it was, how the fuck, I had to get out. I didn't want him to try to kiss me and me be like, don't do that.
He's leaning in and it's like, so what's your favorite prime number?
Yeah. Actually, I'm allergic. Allergic to what? Nothing.
Yeah.
I gotta go home. Bye.
Yeah.
I cut it short.
Yeah.
So
we're at the arcade.
Brown, Harvard Brown arcade.
He leans in this close to me. And he's like, so do you like receiving gifts? And I'm like, what? And then he's like, yeah, do you like receiving gifts? Does it make you feel appreciated to receive a lot of gifts? And I'm like, is this guy trying to like buy me? Like, I don't understand.
What did Brown and Harvard do to him?
I don't know. Yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. And you know what? It didn't click to me that he was trying to impress me because he was like, oh, what's a sweet girl like you doing on a dating app? And I was always very honest about that. I was like, because I wasn't interested in dating for like 90% of my 20s.
Me too. When guys would be like, damn, what's a girl like you doing? Why are you not off the market yet?
Because I didn't put myself on the market until now.
I'd be like, because I'm mean. No, I don't say that.
I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. Like, I should not have said that. But again, I was stupid.
That too. I say that now. I'll be like, yeah, I haven't dated in a long time. They'll be like, oh, what's so long? I'm like, 7 years. They'd be like,
yeah.
Wow, why? I'm like, because I didn't want to be out there.
Yeah. So, I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. So after the date, I basically vow never to see this dude again because something about him creeped the absolute hell out of me. I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? It was not just me being defensive. There's something wrong with this dude. Like, I'm not meshing with him at all. And I tried to be nice about it at first. Like, now I'm like, that was really creepy. But back then I was like, and I kind of still feel this way. I very much believe that your yuck will always be somebody else's yum. So whatever, even though I find all of that stuff creepy, I think that had it come from the right person, I probably would have liked it.
Absolutely.
And if he finds somebody who likes him, they'll probably love all of that stuff that he does, No,
I've had a friend call me out about the guy kissing my hand. She's like, okay, but if it was blah, 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 it would have been fine. I was like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I already know that I like that one. This one, I don't know him.
Yeah.
Why he doing that?
Yeah. So for me, like, I didn't like the guy. So everything he did was like ill-received. You know? And that's why when some guys are like, do girls not like this anymore? Do girls not like this anymore? They might not like it from you, but it doesn't mean you have to stop doing something per se. Like, maybe I'm the bad person to talk to, but even my friends that are low-key crazy, I'm like, you know what? I don't tell them to stop being crazy. I'm like, just find somebody who likes you. I was like, you crazy as hell. I'll tell them to their face. I'm like, you are crazy as hell. But find somebody who likes the fact that you're crazy.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly. Because even the guy who called me 3 times and texted me 6, I told him, I was like, you know, I get told a lot that I'm too much.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I just find that funny because, like, that's what initially attracts them.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, honestly, he ate with this one thing. He was like, someone being too much it's very subjective because what's too much for one person could be not enough for another person. He was like, you make you seem like you're this bad egg. He was like, but I like how real you are. I was like, thank you. Then, you know, he got a little crazy. I think he liked my realness too much. And like, I've worked that out in therapy too, being like, oh, I'm too much. And she'd be like, what does that mean? Like, she'd be making me say it and I can't even explain it.
I say something similar to my friends, actually. So I always tell my friends, I'm like, I don't believe in the term high maintenance.
I don't either.
Let me tell you why. Because if a man wants to maintain you,
it won't be a work or a problem.
It's not
or
high
effort.
maintenance.
Yeah.
They only call you high maintenance because they don't know how to maintain you.
Yep.
You know?
Who is calling me?
So frequently, like,
this episode's so real. Someone's calling me. Oh, it's my cousin. Hold on. I'm gonna send her a message. It's Madi. The one who also does this podcast.
Oh, that's so funny.
I'm listening. Continue.
Bet. So yeah, I'm like, I think this was like, this might have been, I think this was the last guy I dated before I met my fiance. So I told him, he's like, so when are we going out on our next date? And I kind of didn't talk to him for a couple of days because I was just processing. And I was like, oh, I'm like filled with dread when this guy reaches out to me. Right?
I had that same inclination with this one guy. He would try to call me every day.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I can't. I'm busy.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm busy.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, if someone else was ringing on my line, I wouldn't mind it. I was like, I don't want this guy at all. I was like, I don't want him at all.
Yeah. So I'm just sitting there and I'm like, you know what? Just so that he stops messaging me, even though something in my spirit makes me like afraid to be direct with this dude, let me just be direct so that there's nothing clear about it.
Yeah.
So I finally answer him and he's like, hey, you know, I'm trying to talk to you. I really liked you. Da, 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 da. When are we going out again? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, but I don't think we can go out again. I didn't really feel a spark on our date. I don't think there was a connection. I'm not going to say there's anything wrong with, you know, you tried to be very sweet, but it just wasn't for me.
Yeah. Like you did nothing wrong. It's just there's nothing here.
I didn't feel a connection. There's nothing here. I'm sorry. So, you know, I wish you all the best and good luck with everything, you know?
Crushed out.
Yeah, majorly. He's like, all right. He was like, listen, I haven't dated in a long time. So could you at least tell me like what it was? Like, just so that I know for the next person.
It kind of makes me feel bad, but also
so
like,
I felt bad.
Yeah.
So I felt bad. Oh wait. No. Hold on.
Oh.
I'm missing the big part before. I messaged him that and he's super corny. He goes, ouch. Like these are some hot, some spicy words from that I were not looking to hear. Hey, I booked dinner at this French restaurant for Valentine's Day. Why don't we talk it out there? And I'm like, did you not listen to what I said? I just said I do not want to go on a date with you.
Because that sounded like AI.
By then, AI was invented, so maybe.
Yeah. Ouch. Yeah, like, he told ChatGPT, how do I convince her to... And then he was like, ouch. Whoop. And it kind of gives, like, that TikTok animated...
Yeah. Yeah. So, I was like, did you not listen to what I said? Like, I just said I don't want to go out with you again and that I don't feel that way about you.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, I know. He goes, but why can't we talk about it? And I was like, there's nothing to talk about. I just told you that I'm not into you. And then he's like, okay, well, why can't you? I was like, well, I booked this restaurant for Valentine's Day. Like, why don't you just come? Like, we can't talk as friends. And I was like, on a candlelit dinner at a French restaurant for Valentine's Day? Hell no. Hell to the no.
No, thank you. Literally no.
And he's like, what? You don't want to be friends with me? And I'm like, no, I have friends.
Why I was talking to a guy and he told me he wanted to see me Valentine's Day, but then told me, but we just friends. And I said, then no. What the hell?
Yeah, no, I was the opposite. I was like, I don't even want to be your friend on Valentine's Day. I don't want you anywhere near me.
Yeah.
February 14th, actually.
Yeah. And I was like, this wasn't even my idea.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, no, because I just said I'm not into you. And honestly, this is getting a little weird. So I'm going to stop the conversation here. And then that's where he was
because he's
like,
making it sound like you're on the fence, but you're like, no, I made my decision.
He's like, no, where he keeps trying. And it's like, it's the fact that he's insisting. Like, he's like, no, he's like, we're going to go out on Valentine's Day and talk this out. And I'm like, no, we're not. So then he's like, it's just been a really long time since I dated. Can you at least just tell me so that I know for the next one? And I felt bad for some reason.
Mm-hmm. They always do it to us.
And I was like, honestly, everything you did seemed a little bit pushy. You're kind of being pushy now. Maybe somebody else likes this kind of thing, but I don't. It's not what I'm into. It honestly sets me off. It makes me feel a little bit unsafe. So it's not my thing. Mm-hmm. So I would just say if there's anything you want to work on, for me, it was that, it was a little too much. It was too pushy.
Like, there's a very thin line between eager and pushy.
Yeah, and he was definitely pushy.
Yeah.
Well, then he goes on this whole tirade. And this is where, on this tirade, he was like, oh, well, I kept so much from you because I was trying to protect you because you were so innocent and inexperienced because you hadn't had a serious relationship or whatever. You said you hadn't dated all through your 20s, but obviously you're not this innocent person that you said you were. So I'm just going to tell you who the real me is. I used to be married, okay? And I got a divorce because she cheated on me and took all of my money. And I was like, so you're a liar on top of being a total creep?
Yeah. That doesn't.
Well, like, when were you going to tell me this? I was like, well, now I definitely don't want to talk to you. I was like, I was like, what? Like, okay, I'm not, like, you didn't even tell me that you used to be married. You don't have it listed anywhere. Like, I don't know. Like, he wasn't currently married. So some people might be like, oh, but he was single. Why does he need to tell you that? I think it's weird to hide something like that. The fact that you hiding something is weird.
And then, like, use it as, like, a reverse
Yeah, and
card.
then trying to be like, well, I'm telling you this now because obviously you're not as innocent as I thought you were.
Well, did he think... Okay, right, so as I said before knowing the context, that gives groomer and creep, because if you thought I was so innocent because I lacked the experience of dating, so you thought that you felt the need to protect me from that...
By lying to me.
Yeah, by withholding
pretending
that.
you were like a totally different person. So in my head, I'm like, if I had liked him and kept going on dates with him, when was he going to tell me this? Like, he was advertising himself as a totally different person. And I was like, all right. I said, I gave you your explanation. I told you everything. This is genuinely getting creepy. I feel extremely uncomfortable. I'm going to block you now. If you try to contact me again, I'm forwarding your number to the cops. I don't even care.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, why? Why do I have to stop talking to you? Why can't I keep talking to you? And I was like, it's giving stalker at this point. So I blocked him. At that point,
yeah.
I blocked him. I saved his picture. I showed it to the security guard at my job. And I was like, if this dude walks in, call the police. Mm-hmm. And my crazy friend literally like went through and found like his court documents from his divorce and shit. She found the court, because I guess those are public technically.
I guess, yeah.
I guess all court documents are like public once they go through, or I don't really know. She knows more about this shit than I do. She found his court documents from his divorce. She found
Imagine
like
if she found that before he told you.
She found that he got booked for like attempted assault. I guess maybe on the new guy. I don't know. I have no clue.
Oh my God. You dodged it.
I dodged a major bullet. And he was like in New York. So it was like, I was like, it's not that far. Like, he could come here.
Yeah.
I was like, I could be a headline,
even with that
bro.
being far, like, he has a job where he has a gun. And I told my mom that. She was like, does he know where we live? And
yeah.
I was like, no.
Yeah. So I get to my fiance. Okay. We're going to get to the happy ending.
Thank God. Let's end on a high note, girl. I need some hope.
There was a bump in the road. Okay. So I get to my fiance and we had been talking, right? And my fiance on paper was like, at a first glance, was not the type of person I would ever see myself dating. So, he, as you can probably, you know me, okay? Like, you know how I'm the same as I was. You know what I mean? I don't like being told what to do. Yeah. I'm very direct. I'm very, like, so I am not submissive. I am not quiet. I'm not, like, I'm not any of those things.
Yeah.
So that whole thing about like liking a man in uniform was never my thing.
Oh my God, me neither.
Okay, I'm also knowledgeable about like what I am. You know what I mean? So my friends used to laugh at me when I would tell them this, but I'd be like, if I'm scrolling and a guy's too muscular, I can't do that. And they're like, why? I was like, because I'm 5'1" and I like to argue, and I don't need this dude trying to fold me like a lawn chair or something. Like I was like,
I like to argue.
Yeah, I like to argue.
Yeah.
I need somebody who isn't gonna stand there motionless if I like hit him with a frying pan. If I get scared, you know, like if I don't need the frying pan denting in when I'm hitting him.
I want him to be strong enough to pick me up, but not to throw me. You understand?
Yeah,
there's a fine line, babe.
Yeah. So he like super liked me or whatever on Bumble, right? Because to send me a message. Because if they super like you, they can send you the first message.
Yep,
right?
Yep.
So he did that. And at the time on the Bumble, I was like, I'm never going to find somebody who like has everything that I grew up with, because like I felt like I had so like, and I'm sure you understand this too. I felt like I was pulling from so many different circles. I was never going to find somebody who fully satisfied all of the things that I liked.
Yes.
So I grew up in a super ethnic household. I grew up like my parents grew up in a very like Christian household, and that was like a big part of my life.
Yes.
And is still a big part of my life. But I also like anime. I also like D&D. Like I also like, and I feel like I could only ever find one or the other. Like I could only find people who liked anime and D&D, or people who were super traditional and Christian. And I felt like I was somewhere in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like people who like grew up like family oriented and traditional. They were like the people who were like, my job is to lead you and your job is to cook and clean and never talk back to me.
Yeah, like, and then they have all the traditions, good and bad. You're like, okay.
Yeah. And then the anime and D&D people would be like, I love anime and D&D, but if you ask me how to have a conversation about my parents, I will literally throw up in my mouth,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm never going to find somebody who like satisfies both.
Yes.
Right? So I had, all of those things. I was like, I'm just going to put everything out there, right? So I'm reading his profile, and on his profile, it's like interesting, right? So like his profile says that he's like a retired vet, and I'm like, huh? But then it also says that he was like trying to be a therapist, and that he liked playing D&D and things like that, and that he was like, yeah, I play D&D. I'm an arms instructor. Like I do this, I do that. I'm like, this is pulling from like a lot of different places. And I'm like, I don't know what box to put him into.
Yeah.
And he messaged me, and the message wasn't like, you're really pretty. His message was like, oh, you play D&D too? Like what's your favorite class? So I'm like, here we go. I'm like, more small talk.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm like, I actually am DMing right now. And he got like super excited.
Yeah.
He was like, you
I did
DM?
too.
He was like,
He told me.
Yeah, he was like, you DM? He was like, that's the coolest thing ever. Like, da 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 da. And he's like,
honestly,
talking.
that's why I stayed talking to that one musty dusty guy for so long, because he DMs, and I was like, maybe you could teach me. He was like, yeah, I'd love to help. Like
D&D is so easy to learn. You do not need a musty man to teach you.
Thank you.
You do not need a musty man.
I got you, girl. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
He's like, that's so cool.
You. Yeah. So he was like so hyped about the fact that I DM, right? So I was telling him about the campaign that I was working on, and we're talking for a while. Not once did this man compliment my appearance. Not once did this man even work my appearance into a conversation. He didn't even mention my appearance.
Yeah, that also happened to me too. I love that.
That was attractive to me, because it's like, you already like me, so I know you like what you see. But like, there was no need to bring up
someone
my
on
appearance.
Twitter.
No need to,
had opened a conversation or made a comment about like what makes dating apps so difficult is that it takes out the fun flirting, because when you like or swipe on someone, it's very clear you find me attractive, I find you attractive. What else can we discuss?
Yeah.
How can we make this conversation be natural where it can go somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking for like a month, and the conversations are good. And not once does he ever bring up my appearance. He's like super like, and every time we talked, like he just talked to me. Like it wasn't like we never talked about like dating. Like, I mean, we would talk about dating here and there, but in terms of dating, like we would be having really good conversations, and all of a sudden I'd be like, so out of curiosity, like, what are you here for?
Right.
Like what are you looking for? Are you looking to like, because some people are like, oh, I'm just trying to see if I can find a connection and see where it goes from there. And other people are like, I'm looking to find my wife. And other people are like, I'm just looking to have some fun. So like, I was like, what are you? And he's like, I'm honestly looking for like the relationship. You know what I mean? I'm looking for like, he didn't say like, I'm looking for my my wife, because I would get scared when people would say that. I was like, I'm not ready to be your wife.
Yeah,
He was like, no, I'm looking for the relationship. You know, I'm not necessarily putting a lot of weight on it being my final relationship. Like, I'm not trying to put, in the sense that I don't want to put pressure, but I really want to find my person, and I want to find that relationship that makes me feel like I found my person.
I've always said, like, I want a genuine romantic connection.
Yeah.
That leads to a relationship. I'm literally like, that's what I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, that's it. And
I
then,
appreciated that.
Hopefully, then that, ideally, it makes sense that would turn into a long-term relationship and marriage and all that. But it's like, you saying wife, husband is like, whoa, yeah. So that's good that he said that. I like that.
Yeah. So
it makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing too.
Yeah. So I was like talking, like, and we had started talking, like he was talking to somebody, I was talking to somebody, and he had set up a date, right? Mm-hmm. Well, when he sets up the date, the day of our first date, he sends me a picture of his truck, like, leaking fluid everywhere. And is like, I'm so sorry, but I need to cancel our date because my truck is leaking fluid. Now, unfortunately for him, I was so fed up with the process. I didn't even care that whether it was true or not. He was like, I literally sent you. Nowadays, he's like, I literally sent you a picture. Like, why? But I was like,
you're like, you could have Googled it.
No, I didn't even go that far. You want to blame it and be like, no, she thought he Googled it. I was like, this is 100% true. But the fact that his car leaked is a sign that we don't even need to be going out. Oh, I was like, I'm done.
The day I was going to go meet coffee with someone, he kept being like, oh, I don't really have that much time. And his messages were confusing. And I was like, I'm about to just dead him. My friend was like, no, go. Then I was on my makeup and my sister goes, Sissy, why are your eyes so dark? Why do you have bags under your eyes? Why is it so black here? Because I had barely been sleeping those last few days. And I was like, and my best friend, she goes, don't listen to her. She's 7. She was like, you look great.
Kids never lie, bro.
She was like, use those eye things that we both got from K-Beauty.
Yeah.
Use them and you're going to go. I was like, okay. And I told him, I said, my sister almost helped me not come. He was like, wow. Like, she said something about my dark eyes. He was like, oh, are you someone who believes in signs? And I was like, yeah. And even he was like, I'm so sorry I got stuck in traffic. But here's the thing. I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off. I had made the joke ever since I got stood up by that last guy. And I was like, good riddance, bye. Me and my best friends would be like, my boyfriend's stuck in traffic. Oh, don't worry. He's coming. He's stuck in traffic. So, of course, it's just something so silly, right? Yeah. But then for me to have that date with that guy or have coffee, and he was like, oh, did you think I was gonna stand you up because I told him I got stood up? I was like, no. He goes, no, be for real. I was like, well, I was concerned what was happening because you said you'd be here at this time, but you came a little bit later. He goes, I'm so sorry. I was stuck behind an 18-wheeler for the longest. And just the specificity of it, I was just kind of like, okay. And I was like, yeah, that's a sign, maybe. But anyway.
Yeah, so I fully believed him. It's not like I did not think he was lying.
Okay. You're like, this is a sign.
I actually was so fed up. I was like, his truck leaking and us not be able to go on this date today is a sign from God that this was going to be a waste of my time and that we should not go on this date. Right? So I was so fed up. I also was just so fed up because by that point, you heard all my stories, okay? All right, at that point, and this was all of those stories except for Mr. I heard about the raining and the flooding. How is your family? All of those stories were condensed within like 3 months of my life.
Long ass 3 months.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those 3 months were the longest 80 years of my life. Okay. So by that point when his truck leaked, I was like, girl, it wasn't even 3 months. No, wait. Yeah, it wasn't even. No, it was. No, December, January, halfway through February, 2.5 months.
God. Okay. And February's short, too.
February's short. February's the shortest month of the year. So we're sitting there and I'm like, okay. I was like, it's not meant to be. I was like, you know what? So I ghosted him because I'm like, I'm so fed up. I'm like, I'm just not going to talk to him anymore. Right. So I'm fed up. I'm like mad.
I don't even blame you.
I'm telling my friends, I'm like, this shit is not for me. Okay. I gave it the old college try. I have decided that owning several cats is a much easier lifestyle than living with a man. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I will be at all of your weddings. I will be the fun aunt. Okay. Give me your travel list. I will get you souvenirs from whatever countries they are. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
You already literally throw in the towel.
Yeah, I was like, I
tried.
rich auntie
I'm done. Status. Like, that's it.
I'm done. And then I had a couple days to calm down. I think I hadn't talked to him for like 2-3 weeks. I don't even know. I just completely went silent. And
You're well, it's a done deal.
You know what else? I will also say this. I was also super stressed because I was bouncing all this and like that month, like February, is when I have this huge audit at my job, which is basically like the culmination of all of the work that I've done.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm telling you, they nitpick it down to the letter.
Yeah,
and
so
like
it's
if I
stressful.
don't get it all right and there's something wrong, they pay $10,000 fine per error. So it's like a huge deal at my job.
Right.
So I was stressed out of my mind, and I was like, I'm just gonna focus on this.
Oh yeah, they always come when you're super stressed.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm telling you, I was juggling work. My mom had recently had a surgery, so I was helping with my sister more than I ever have.
Yeah.
I was helping run the house. I was helping do everything.
Yeah.
And still had time to... That's why I had bags under my eyes to go get fucking coffee with somebody. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
This could be, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm about to delete the app, and I don't know why, like, the worm in my brain was like, this guy did absolutely nothing to you. Okay, the little voice in my head was like, this guy did absolutely nothing to you. He's been nothing but nice to you. He's been very patient. He has never spoken in a way that made you feel gross.
Yeah, very important.
And if you just ghost him and delete the app and disappear after talking to him for like a month, you are doing to him what you have been fed up with.
Yes.
This entire time. Mm-hmm. Like, this is not right. What you're doing is not right.
Yeah.
And I had to really like sit down with myself, and I think that the stress from my job was playing into it. Mm-hmm. So when I realized it, and I realized I'm literally doing the thing that, like, one of the things that I found so annoying about this process,
yes.
I was like, I'm perpetuating the problem. And I'm like, it's not fair to treat this other person as disposable because I have things going on or because I'm stressed or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right. I was like, here's what I'm going to do. I was like, I'm going to reach out. I'm going to apologize. And I'm going to see if he even wants to speak to me. Right. So I message him and I'm like, hey, I was like, I had a lot going on. I was like really stressed. I had a lot of stuff going on with work. And I'm sorry that I dropped the ball and I haven't been talking to you. But if you still want to go out, I would like to go out with you. You know, I didn't want to. And he was like, he answered and he goes, no, I'm definitely still down to go out with you. And then we go out to this place. We get pho. Mm-hmm. Because we were trying to find something we both liked, and he was like, "You do like Asian food, whatever." And at the time, I was like fasting for like I was doing like the Lent for my church, and in that Lent, like I couldn't have like meat or dairy, so he was like trying to find something that had vegetarian dishes. So he found pho, like that had like tofu.
That's sweet though.
The tofu pho was buns. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was so bland. It tasted like hot water.
Well, hey, that's we're
never gonna be that cute couple that can like recreate their first date because the place we went to sucked. So we go on a date there. And at the time I was like really crazy. I don't do cardio anymore. I lift now. But at the time I was going really crazy with cardio, and I was like waking up at 4:30 a.m. to go to the gym, and I was like psycho. So I was like passing out at like 8:30 p.m.
Yeah.
This is important context. So we go on the date. It's a Friday night in like early spring, so it's kind of still cold.
Yeah.
We go to this pho place, and first time he ever compliments my appearance, I get out of the car and he goes, "Oh, well, hello, gorgeous." And I'm like, okay. I was like,
so
that was
sweet.
nice. We go on the date and we did not stop talking the entire time. But then 8:30, 9 o'clock starts rolling around. And Talisa, I'm so tired. I'm literally like falling asleep while he's talking.
Oh no.
Like I'm literally like falling asleep.
Fascinating.
Because I'm so tired.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not subtle. Like he's like, and the restaurant's closing on us, and he's like, because it closed at like 9 or something. And they're basically like, hey, we're closing. We're closing in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Y'all need to get your shit.
Asian restaurants be like, get the fuck out.
They will literally walk up to you and be like, you need to go.
You can't yap at an Asian spot.
No, you cannot.
There's always a 2-hour limit, babe.
Okay? There's no, American restaurants, the restaurant closes at 9. That's when they take their last people, okay?
Right.
Asian restaurants, the restaurant closes at 9. You're getting the hell out of here at 9.
They're kicking you out.
All right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm throwing you in the chopsticks outside of here at 9 p.m. sharp. All right?
Don't play.
Eat what you can, because whatever's not boxed up is going in the trash. So we're at the place, we're talking, and we're talking nonstop. We've not run out of things to talk about, but I'm falling asleep. Mm-hmm. So we're getting ready to leave. And I'm like, oh God. I was like, is he gonna try to like kiss me or something? You know, because I'm not a kiss on the first date type of person.
Yeah. I get scared.
No, instead he tells me about how he's been kicked so many times in the military in this bone that it's like serrated.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, he knew I was a nurse. So he's like, yeah, this bone is like serrated. And then I was looking at him and he was like, you want to touch it, don't you? Like you want to feel my serrated leg. And I was like, I kind of do.
I want nothing more.
And I was like, yeah, okay. I'm like feeling his knee. I'm like, oh my God, your bone is serrated. Tell me why now after the fact. He was like, I knew you wouldn't kiss me on the first date, so I just needed to make something up.
So you could touch me?
He did have a serrated leg. He was like, I needed to work something in so that you would touch me.
I like him.
He was like, yeah, like he was like, it was so funny now. So I'm like, I'm touching his serrated leg. And then he's like, okay, well, good night. And then I get in the car and my friends are like, so how was the date? I was like, yeah, it was really good, but he's definitely not going to call me back because I was falling asleep while he was talking. And I rubbed his serrated leg and didn't hug or kiss him.
Me, I go, I think I'm at my husband.
Yeah, I was like,
we hugged 3 times.
Yeah, I was like, I touched his serrated bone and fell asleep while he was talking. So it was a nice date, but unfortunately, he will definitely not be calling me
back. He will be blocking me.
Yeah, he will be blocking me by the time I get home. Yeah, I'm going to get a text tomorrow about how he had a great time, but we're not going to talk again.
Never again.
Yeah, yeah. And that did not happen. And there were just so many, like, green flags. Like, everything he did, like, I was, like, so fed up at that point, but he really did, like... He did everything. He did things that, like, I didn't even know that I thought were important to me until he did them. And I was like, this is deeply important to me.
I love
so,
that.
like, for example, I was never the type of person where I felt like I needed to take the lead to feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I was actually fine with the guys taking the lead, but I never felt comfortable.
Yes.
You know? And then I met a guy who wouldn't even order his food until I had said what I wanted to eat because he was like, and it wasn't like he was afraid to take the lead. It was like the waitress would be like, so what do you want to eat? And before he would speak, he would pause and look at me like he was waiting for me to speak
you
first.
Go first.
Yeah. So like he definitely behaved in this way, not to be like, you're taking the lead, but to be like, I can see that you're not comfortable yet. So I'm going to let you take the lead and I'm going to follow your lead because that's the pace that I know that you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to make you catch up to my pace.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And this was like a really weird thing that I found attractive. But like on our second date, I tripped and his arm like shot out instantly. Like instantly.
I love that.
Instantly. Like he was ready to catch me lightning fast. Like I was not touching the ground.
Oh, save me.
Yeah. And something primal was like, he can catch me if I fall and prevent injury.
I love that. Literally.
Yeah.
No, I'm the same way. And then I'm like, yo, watch it. And I'm like, you care about
like
my
little
safety?
things. And then he would sit there and we'd be walking. And if we'd pass an alleyway, he would like stick his arm out, check the alleyway, and then we'd walk. And then like, it wasn't like this thing. And he'd be like, sorry, I'm still a little, he's like hypervigilance. I'm sorry. And then I'd be like, that's okay. That's all right. Hypervigilance. Like
I need that.
We have two different like he has the hypervigilance type of trauma. I have the my brain is empty type of trauma.
Yeah. I'm like la 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 la.
Yeah, I'm like my brain is empty because
one of us needs to be aware, babe, and it's gonna be you.
He is the aware one.
Yeah.
He is the aware one. And then like he just he just did so many things. He's also like the type of person where like if you say that you like something, like you could just be like, yeah, you'll just be yapping and you'll be like, yeah, I saw this thing and I thought it was so cool. Like a couple days later, he'll have you a little gift bag with that thing that you said that you liked. It's just like, that. Yeah. And like we're driving and I'm telling you, I was actively trying to find something wrong with him. Like I was trying to find a red flag. I'd be like, there's a red flag right there.
That's
He'd
me.
be like it would be like we'd be walking around and then he would be holding up scissors and I'd be like, and then he'd be like, it's to cut my snowflakes for, children or something. And then he'd be like, never mind, it's not a red flag. And that was literally how it was. Like I tried to find something wrong with him and they'd be like, yeah, well, what about this? And he'd be like, oh, this, and this. And then it would turn into a complete green flag. And I'd be like, damn it. There's nothing wrong with
waiting
him.
for the other
I'm trying to find something wrong with you because I want to find a reason for this to not be able to work before I start liking you.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do? Like, and then if I start liking you, then what am I supposed to do?
Then it's too late.
Yeah. Like, what am I supposed to do? I don't have the manual for liking you. I don't like people. Like,
no, literally, like, after the coffee date, he was like, oh, like, let me know what you think, or, if anything, if you had a good time. I said, oh, I had a great time. I said, I think I had too much of a good time. Because I literally, after that, I was kind of like, I'm scared. You not scared? He goes, about what? I go, like, you not scared? Why does it feel like this? He was like, it's fine. I go, this is terrifying. What are you talking about? Something wrong here. Something's wrong here with you. What about you that I don't see that's wrong? And he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I'm gonna find it.
Yeah. So we're like a couple months in, and like we've been on, like a bunch of dates, to the point where my parents are like, so are you gonna finally? I also would never give them names. So I did, like, because I didn't want to get attached. So my parents were like, are you gonna tell us Italian guy's name? Like,
Italian. He did a good job.
You've been going out with him for like 2 months. Like, does he get a name now? Do we get to meet him?
I gotta stop
like,
giving names.
What's going on?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I'm telling you, because I also never brought anybody home to my parents. Like, no man has walked through the threshold of my house, because I'm sorry, my family is crazy. Love them, but they're crazy.
I'm getting.
So, like, I always told myself, I was like, if I'm bringing somebody through the door to deal with all of that, it's my husband. All right. That the only person who's walking through that door is going to be my husband. Okay. Because that is it. Because I'm not going through that. Because I already know they're gonna be.
So I had the one boyfriend, and why was it 3-4 years after he was ever here? Have you ever heard from him again? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
He was nice. What?
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't heard from, what's his name? Who? They'll mention people that I don't even.
That's hilarious.
Aren't even on my register.
So it's very funny that you were like, do you believe in signs? So I was never a signs person. So my birthday is coming up, and he wants to take me out for my birthday, right? So he's like, well, what do you want to do for your birthday? I really want to plan like a nice birthday. He's like, take your birthday, like hang out with your friends on your birthday, but maybe the weekend after or something, I would love to take you out for your birthday. So I'm like, I'm trying to think of something. I'm so not used to this, because I hadn't dated for like most of my 20s. I didn't even have a guy take me out for my birthday. That didn't happen. So I messaged my friends. I was like,
I think once.
Yeah, I was like, this dude wants to take me out for my birthday. I don't even know what to ask him. They were like, well, what do you? They were like, just pick something. Like, you don't have to be polite. Just pick something. So I tell him, I'm like, all right. I was like, honestly, I would really like a nice dinner somewhere with a view, like a rooftop or like whatever or something.
Oh, cool.
Like I would just like, and maybe we can go on a walk or something, right? So while I'm driving there, I'm like really struggling with the idea. I'm like, fuck, I like this guy. Like, I really
you start
like
to like
this guy.
panic, right?
And I'm like panicking, and I'm like, you know what? I start praying on the way there. So I'm driving. I'm like, God, I was like, you know how I am. You know all of your children, okay? You know that when it comes to signs from you, I cannot read, okay? So I'm gonna just make something up, okay? And we're gonna bargain, okay? So I'm driving, and I'm like making something up, and I'm like, okay. I was like, all right, if he's waiting at the door with a bouquet of flowers, this is a good sign, okay? Because I hadn't like had anybody do that. I never had somebody wait for me at a date with flowers. And that was like kind of old school. So I just made something up, and it's not anything he had done. Well, I pull up, and he's standing there with flowers. Yeah, he's standing there.
I'm so smitten over this, because I'm the same way about a sign. I get it. I'm like, thanks.
And let me tell you what type of person. He's standing there with flowers, and he's like, I'm type B very much. This is the type of person he is. He's standing there with flowers. I come out, I'm in my little birthday outfit, and he literally does one of those... like one of those things when he sees me get out of the car. And then I show up, and he's sitting there, and he goes, okay, is this shirt okay? Because I have a backup shirt in my car that I will change into if you don't want me to wear this shirt. And I also have another present in the car that you might find funny. This is the actual like cute gift, and then there's like a funny present in the car. I
adore him.
There's a funny present in the car, right? So then we go on the date. We have a great time. The funny present is he got me a box of instant udon, because I told him I hate instant ramen, but I love the texture of udon. So he went to Costco, and he got me a big box of instant udon, which he got as a joke.
I'm about to cry, bro.
Yeah, I didn't know instant udon existed, so I have like a bouquet of roses and this thing of instant udon. And we were not even like boyfriend and girlfriend at this point yet. Like, he just did all of this because he wanted to give me like a nice birthday date, right? And then we're sitting and he takes me to this restaurant that's like overlooking the ocean and all of that. Like we're sitting right by the water. And then we go on a walk after the dinner and we're sitting on the bench. And that was like the first time we had like a deep conversation that like was outside of like, oh, I like this, I like that. Oh, I really like that. Like it was a deep conversation about like serious things, right? And then he took a deep breath and like in the distance, it was like mid-June. It was June 16th. It was like nowhere near like any type of holiday or anything, and then all of a sudden like fireworks start going off over the water in the distance.
Up.
Yeah. And he was like, and he tells me now, he's like, I knew I loved you on that date. Yeah.
I'm gonna cry. You're not on the show. Shut up.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Yeah. And then literally like 2 weeks later, he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I think like a month after that, he was like, I love you.
He was like,
yeah, the second he locked me down, he was like, yeah.
At least he did it right. At least he didn't say, I love you, and then be my girlfriend. You'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he knew. Yeah.
Me, I'd be like,
knew.
What?
And that's what I mean. Like, he held it in for that long, and like, he waited until he thought I would be comfortable.
A leader.
Yes.
Smart, responsible.
Yes.
I love that for you.
Yes. And yeah, I mean, yeah, like he's genuinely like amazing. So a bunch of people like on paper, they're like, you're with someone, you are with somebody who's in the military, like
yeah,
you.
Because I would have never said that for myself either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm like too strong-willed. Like it's not even like I do it on purpose to be a brat or out of spite. I just am independent. I know how to take care of myself. I got it. Don't worry about it. So, and like you said, it's hard to be comfortable to allow someone to give you space to like let them lead you, and and just the pacing and all that. So like,
and he's like just so good at everything. Like he knows how to build stuff. Like he cooks. So like even when I start cooking,
this is a shame. When you don't have a brother,
when I start cooking, he's like, I'm gonna start slicing these bell peppers for you. You want 1/2-inch slices or 1-inch slices? And he starts getting to work. He's like my sous chef. You know what I mean? So like anything I want to do, he's like, let's do it together. Let's go.
I love that.
Yeah. So it's
okay.
just,
so I need your prayer off the record.
Yeah. Yeah. So. I mean, it happened on an app that I hated. I freaking hated Bumble. I met my future husband on Bumble, and I still wouldn't recommend Bumble to anybody.
I know. I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know.
Like, listen, let me put it this way. If you're going to go on Bumble, just understand you are going to be talking to a lot of, like, weird people who are what the populace abandoned.
Yep.
When they actually found their person.
Yep.
But there will also be, like, there will be some diamonds in the rough. You will find that person who just, also didn't find somebody and is looking. And, yeah, but you have to be, I'm telling you, to get to that point, I had to be willing to put up, like, I had to force myself to put up with so much bullshit and just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Keep it moving. Because every time something happened, I was like, this is not for me. This is not for me.
I know it like sooner and sooner and more quicker. I'm like, okay, more quickly. I'm like, I don't need to second.
And honestly, like my friends, when I was like talking about them, my friends were like, why are you so scared? They're like, my friends were trying to tell me, they're like, okay, tell me what you really like about him. And I paused and I was like, I really like how he treats me. And that was like, genuinely, that was like the first thing that I really like fell for. Like he treats me so well.
Yeah, and that's important.
Yeah, 100%. So, like, I want that for everybody.
Yeah, me too, girl.
I want that for everybody. Like, that shit is addicting. It's great. Mm-hmm. It's very empowering, but it also has you turning to people, and then you're like, don't let somebody, like, I could not imagine the person that I'm with ever talking to me like that, or ever doing me like that, or ever doing that. Don't let somebody treat you like that.
Yeah.
Okay? Because that is not the standard. You do not have to put up with anything because there are people who don't do that. And yeah. Mm-hmm. He's like, we've never argued. He doesn't ever raise his voice at me. Like, like, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. He never tried, like, when we talk about something, even if we, like, disagree, he doesn't be like, well, you did this. He pauses, or, like, if I get upset, he pauses and he goes, I'm getting stressed. I'm sorry. Like, catches himself mid-moment.
That's important.
Yeah, he's genuinely such a good person. But
And you are too. Don't forget that, girl.
Thank you, girl.
You are. You always have been. So you deserve that, all that, and more. And I love that you have it. And it does suck that we had to go through the You literally said we had to go through war.
Yes, I swear I did. I did a tour in
You too
Hinge.
are a vet.
I did a tour in Bumble. Oh my God. I didn't do a tour in Tinder. That was
You don't need to.
That was too much for me.
That's too far.
That was too far for me, you know? You know, but I genuinely like, oh my God. Like, yeah. Some people say like you find who you're looking for when you're not looking. And maybe I think that's true to an extent. Just because I was like at the point where I was ready to give up and I was like, just this last time. I just want to be a decent person about this.
Yeah.
And that ended up being like the person that I want to marry. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's beautiful.
Yeah. So to an extent, I do agree with that because you don't have all of these expectations and guardrails up. But at the same time, like, especially for navigating dating apps, in my opinion, just from my experience, like 90% of the time, it is going to be a bunch of people that are going to make you kind of lose your faith in humanity. But you just need to find that one person who like restores it, you know? So yeah.
That's incredible. What a great way to end this long but very informative and engaging episode. Thank you so much for being here.
Yap for a minute.
Girl, I had so much fun listening to you because I be yapping forever and I'm sitting like, I could hear forever.
Yeah.
You will definitely be back.
Yes.
Because we got to learn more about this and there's so many other things to discuss, but you definitely do give me hope for sure.
I hope so. That was my point. You know, I was like, I'm here to make you laugh.
Like, I definitely haven't given up.
I'm here to tell you, there's some crazy ass people out there, but you know.
Because what's crazy too is like when I really sit and think about my timeline and experience of life and with men who've been interested in me, I feel like I was treated better when I was younger by men I had no expectation for.
Yeah.
But then when it's like, hey, I met you on an app, so like, what's up?
Yeah.
Then they like fumble and just do a horrible job. And I'm just like, you told me what you wanted, but you're not even supplying. Like, I'm like, where is this? Like, what? You know, and then I'd be like, I don't think this is right because if it's that difficult for you to want to court me or plan a date or spend time with me or engage with me.
I'm a big believer of the whole concept of if he wanted to, he would.
Absolutely.
Big believer of that. Yeah. Like, there's some people who are like, no, that sets unfair expectations. It says this, it says that. If that wasn't true, then tell me how every man who ends a long-term relationship, the very next girl he meets is his wife, 90% of the time. Yeah. The next relationship he's in. And then he'll be with her for like 6 months.
I'm not ready yet.
Yeah,
with you.
Yeah. They'll be like, they'll be dating their girlfriend for like...
All right, we're just gonna end it here. Because we had another distraction, another technical difficulty.
It's a sign.
Absolutely. It's time to log off and Kiki off the record.
Yep.
Again, thank you so much for being here, Marina.
Thank you for having me. I had such a fun time.
I'm so happy to hear. I hope you come back. And
thank you.
We learned a lot. Listen, you got to keep trying. That's what
you got to keep trying. You gotta get through all the crazies.
You're gonna get that diamond in the rough.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Couple carrots, like Marina. Mm-hmm. Okay. Bling bling blow. All right, bye guys.
Bye.